One. Hello and welcome everyone to another fantastic Saturday. I've been so I forget what day it is every single time. Welcome to another Saturday here on the Exploding Dice channel. My name is Askren and I am your host, but not your dungeon master. I have relinquished control. I have subsumed my authority. I am nothing but a puppet. Welcome, guys. We are back with more DICEMBER live charity Dungeons and Dragons. You guys know the deal. You've been here all month, so I don't have to tell you. What I do want to do instead is say hello to our cast today. How are you guys doing?
We're breaking necks and cashing checks. That's just the way we roll, Asker, and we're here on a bright and happy Saturday morning, rolling dice, taking names. You got all the awesome players out here on this fine day.
Fantastic. Grant has enough energy for all of us. Thankfully, it's not 9 in the morning, so I am slightly more alive.
Yeah. Other days he's like, Grant, please stop.
Just kill me. I'm off screen, just making like horrible pained faces. How are you guys doing? How are the rest of you guys doing today?
Doing great this morning.
Yeah, man, we're
Or
doing
afternoon
great.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, let's make some money for the kids.
Absolutely. Before we dive right into the festivities, if you guys don't know, what we are gathered here today is play some Dungeons and Dragons for our DICEMBER Charity event. This event is basically, it's just a bunch of crazy people getting together for nearly 20 different days of gaming in the month of December to raise money, all for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. You guys can see the donation bar down below. We are just over, we're 8 days in. This is day 8 of our charity, and we have raised $3,491.69. Hopefully we're going to add to that today. That is going to be, that's a thing that we're shooting for. Of course, how things work is you can affect the game. You can get involved by hitting that donation link. Dicethulu will, of course, have it for you in chat. You can hit the Tiltify link and donate towards St. Jude's. And in exchange, you get a bunch of cool things. You can give players or the DM nat 20s, inspirations, magic items, wild magic surges off the D10,000 wild magic table, all kinds of stuff. And we're going to see just how crazy we can make things and how much we can raise. Of course, don't forget, guys, every $10 that you donate to St. Jude's will, of course, get you a raffle ticket entered to win one of the prizes from our huge prize pool that just keeps getting bigger. I showed them off on stream, but I just got a package the day before yesterday from my friends over at Easy Roller Dice Company, and they sent me like 30 sets of really slick metal dice. These are some of my favorite, the bronze ones, but we have gunmetal and black, along with bulk dice bags, rolling mats. We have some selections of stuff down here that I just brought with me. We have shiny books from our friends making supplements.
That's my favorite supplement, by the way, the Jetpack 7 Gods and Goddesses.
Oh yeah, it is a good. I have that's a collector's edition one that I have to give away. Real nice. We have D&D stuff. We have Pathfinder stuff. I got Pathfinder core rule books and other stuff. I've got Starfinder books. I just got a box of Numenera starter sets in the mail. Just tons and tons of stuff that you guys can win. Not to mention terrain from Epic's Haven, rolling mats, wood stuff from Wormwood, Elderwood Gaming, and Dogmite. Just so much stuff for you guys, and all of that can be yours by donating. We're going to be doing a big on-stream raffle of all the stuff at the end of the month. Of course, if you guys want to support the channel outside of that, we are doing subscription goals. You can see our goal is right up in the top of the screen. If you're enjoying the stream, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's just $5 a month, and you get yourself all kinds of cool stuff to help us produce all of this roleplay content. And of course, subscription goals mean giveaways for you guys hanging out with us in chat. That is pretty much all of the major stuff that I have. Other than that, please, if you have not already, hit that retweet link. Tell everyone on Twitter that you're hanging out with us. Dicethulu has it for you right there in chat. And I don't think I have anything else major, so with that, I'm going to fade into the background, and just hand things over to Grant.
Well, I take the channel lovingly into my arms and bring it close to my heart. Good morning, good morning. How are our players doing today? We discussed it briefly. Why don't we go around, starting with one half, the left nerd of WebDM, Jim Davis. Go ahead and tell the audience who you are, where they can find you online, and who you will be playing today.
All right. So I am Jim Davis, the co-host of WebDM over on the WebDM YouTube channel. You can find me on Twitter at The Real Jim Davis. That's sort of where I hang out. DMs are open, so if you have a question or want to talk, always happy to do that. And for today's game, I am playing Shadow in the Flame, a shadow dragonborn who is has a mysterious past and a lust for objects of arcane power.
And the right nerd of WebDM, Pruitt.
Hey, let me get this cat out of the way. I'm doing great, man. You can reach me at JPruInc on Twitter. Also, got the show on YouTube. I'm also on Wednesday nights at Saber Dice over on Twitch, Saber Dice Show. Also, hit me up on Call of Cthulhu on Wednesdays at Encounter Roleplay. I'll be playing Annie Oakley, a female halfling beastmaster with her wolf May. And can't wait to get in the Black Sands and get dirty.
A friend of ours is in chat, Legendary Pants. Their development company, they're content creators for 5th edition. They kind of do a 5th edition Shadowrun game. They actually donated $300 to the stream earlier this week, so just give them a quick shout out.
I love their spell school series where they in-depth look at the spell schools and like rearranging them. That's great. I didn't know. Awesome.
Super nice and friendly guys. I met them at PAX Unplugged. They didn't know it was me, but I talked with them about their system a little bit. But super nice guys. And let's move over to Mr. Sean, PowerScore RPG. How are you?
Good. I'm Sean. I write a blog called PowerScore RPG. And I write stuff on the DM's Guild, like the Tomb of Annihilation Companion and Miracle's Guide to Devils, and I write the guides to the different adventures. And I also have a YouTube channel where I run all sorts of stuff. And I'm playing a character named Tane Tomoa. I'm a fire. Is it? You guys say Genasi or Ganasi?
I say Genasi because I think they're part genie.
Okay.
Genies are elementals, and there's that Jin, and that's how I do it.
That's how I like to say it. So I'm a fire genasi cleric. In this realm, there's no god, so I actually have a relic that gives me my power. And I was going to say, if it's okay, Grant, that my relic is an hourglass with black sand inside it. Is that okay?
Yes. Now, is the glass clear color, or is it tinted color?
No.
Well, you tell me. You hold
It's tinted.
Okay.
But you can still see the sand in it.
All right. Good deal. And Eric, who's playing Praz. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Jensen. You can find me at Daydream Tiger 1 on Twitter. I run a gaming con in Baltimore called Trident Con. I also have a long dormant OSR-focused blog called Wampus Country you can check out. Hopefully that will lurch forward again next year. Tonight I'm playing Praz, a human rogue who's sort of a scavenger rag picker type, the guy who's not afraid to dive into the monstrous pile of dung to see what's at the bottom.
And in this campaign, we will find monstrous piles of dung. I've made sure to lay out the piles myself. Sorry. Apologies to the audience. It's that time of the day. All right. So we assume that this adventuring party has already met and come together. And now for the audience, I will give the framework of the session. This adventure takes place in my homebrewed setting called Black Sands. I actually was inspired to begin developing the setting based on a conversation with Askren, who runs the Twitch channel. When I essentially told him I wanted to run a midnight campaign. I really liked the midnight campaign setting from 3rd edition, and he said, well, let me propose an alternative. Why don't you run Dark Sun? Well, I thought about it, and I said, why don't I run a mashup of both? And I began coming up with a story that integrated into my existing homebrewed where we had these ebon sands and this savage world. And another influence, I happened to buy the Dying Earth Humble Bundle that just happened to be released by Pellegrine Press that week. So I began to integrate Dying Earth, Midnight, and Dark Sun into the Black Sands campaign. And I wrote a little poem that I sent to the players to kind of describe the feel of the campaign. Our world is a desert of ebon sand and a darkened sun, dimmed and drained by the fell from beyond. Our nations broke and our riches rotted. This world is dying and faith has faltered. The arcane storm grows stronger still, while waning is the will to live. The gods stay silent while the reapers abound. We are now ruled by self-made crowns. Be they crowns of truth or full of lies, regardless still, heroes may rise. Adventure calls out to the chosen few who have the power to make this unnamed earth renew. Yeah, they were asking me for information about the setting, and I was like, well, it's Black Sands, man. Then I was like, what's another word for black? It's ebon. Then I realized, I was like, this is kind of like a poem, and I just sent it over to them. So in this adventure, the Elder of Brahma being a village that's built in the shattered remains of a massive stone colossus, has learned that a metal strongbox has been found in the ruins of Orkgard, which is a ruined city about 7 days from the village. And he has promised reward and payment for the retrieval of the strongbox to a chosen group of selected individuals. And I have some questions for our players. Shadow and Flame, how long have you been in the village of Brahma, and why did the elders select you?
So Shadow and Flame has been in the village for about 3 weeks. He came in on a trade caravan out of the wastes, where he claims he was in exile from the nation of Banner, the nation of Dragonborn far to the north, I think. And so he's been making his living these last 3 weeks as a scribe and sort of keeping his ear to the ground. And when he heard that there was a strong box, his curiosity was up, and so he volunteered to the elder to help retrieve it.
And have you met any of the other players yet before you were assembled in the party, or are they strangers to you?
I think I'm familiar with them. Any past I have with them would be in that 3 weeks. So maybe I know Annie from when she comes and trades her skins in, or perhaps Tane or Praz from just casual interaction or encounter. I think that's sort of where I'm at. Familiar, but not too familiar.
All right. Annie Oakley, how long have you been in the village, and did you know anyone else from the party before you were assigned to this task?
Well, Annie has probably been in and around this village the majority of her life. She was raised by wolves, so to speak, and so she has her companion, of course. But she comes in, she trades her scrimshaw, like her bone carvings and her skins, and sometimes does contract work for like caravans, but she doesn't really trust big people unless it's a big enough caravan. So she always keeps an eye out for everybody. Since her favorite enemy is humanoid, she always has a curiosity of people, of everyone around. So she always tries to keep her ear to the ground and make sure she knows who's coming and who's going. Mostly for self-preservation, because she just thinks that everyone is going to kill her eventually. This being the wastes that they are. Everybody's seen her around. I mean, she's a little halfling riding a wolf, so it's kind of hard to miss.
Now, my question for Tane is, have you heard of the strongbox before the elder mentioned it? Yes or no?
No.
You hadn't heard of it. Why were you selected by the elder to go on this expedition?
I've been lurking in the town for a few days.
He's trying to get rid of you?
Lurking in the shadows, watching everybody, scoping them out, and, trying to make a plan in my head to fix this place into a mighty fortress of black glass. So they've probably all seen me like in the shadows thinking they can't see me, but my eyes glow, and so I probably stick out. But I think they don't see, so I'm just staring at it.
They're like, secret, I'm invisible.
Maybe just,
I am the shadow. What evil lurks in the heart of men, Tane knows.
that's right.
All right. And Praz, how long have you lived in the village of Brahma?
Oh, probably years and years. In it, outskirts, using it as a home base. I imagine a lot of people in town know who Praz is. They might not like him very much, since he's usually kind of, dirty, rag picking, knocking on their door, trying to swap things that may not have a lot of value to them. But yeah, he should be fairly well known. So I'm sure he's seen Annie around and definitely taken note of some of these fancy strangers over the past couple of weeks.
And you are, while most people in the town do kind of give you the bad rap, the elder doesn't. What did you do for the elder in his past that has led you into such a favored position?
Well, the elder's wise, and obviously everyone has a purpose. They kind of think alike. I mean, Praz feels like any piece of junk he finds, he can find a purpose for it. There's somebody that wants it, and maybe on some parallel level, the elder understands that and thinks the same way about people. There's a time and a place for everybody to sort of blossom and be used.
Now, this adventure is going to begin. You're already underway and you're already under trek. In fact, you've already traveled 2 of the 5 days, and you've come to massive dunes. And these dunes are known as I scroll down, the Dunes of Borum. And the Dunes of Borum are very perilous. Annie's very familiar with them. They tend to have an effect of elemental eruptions spontaneously, where a variety of elements, be it ice or fire or earth, wind, water, heart. No, no Captain Planet reference this morning. But there are eruptions that come out of the sands, and it's hard to discern when they're going to happen, but she has a trained eye and is able to help navigate. She knows the signs, so as long as she's in the lead, you are safe from those eruptions. However, you have come across a gaggle of goblins, 30 of them, leper goblins. The leper goblins have dark, burned, ashen skin. They wear sacks around their waist that cover their feet and kind of hop around the desert because the desert burns their feet as they walk. They're known to burrow in and out of the sands, but 30 of them, and the large fat one in the middle has demanded that you give them 10 gallons of water and 5 days worth of food, and they'll allow you to pass through their dunes. What do you do as a party?
When they ask for 5 days worth of food, they mean for everybody?
For all of us, but you knowing leper goblins the way you do, it doesn't take much for them to last. They live off of basically whatever they find in the sands.
I'll give them, I have 10 days worth, so I'll give them 5. I'm not going to touch them because they're lepers. And
says the cleric.
And I'm gonna tell them, like, all grim and gritty, we don't got you water. It's a desert. But I can give you some advice. You want to hear it?
They look amongst themselves. They pull their ear off, hold it a little closer to listen to you.
Choose to soar. Choose to fly your dreams. See you later, lepers. Come on, guys.
Whoa. And they start to circle about. They go, that's enough food for 10 of us, but not the whole 30. Besides, we know where there's water, and if you fetch us the water, it's about 2 days north of here. So fetch us the water and bring it back. Come back through our dune.
I'm going to use my thaumaturgy to create harmless tremors in the ground.
They start to get nervous and start to bound about because they think the dunes are going to erupt.
I control the sands, so...
Oh no. Sounds like fire.
Looks like
then I'll use I can do up to 3 things with thaumaturgy, so I'll change my eyes to like fiery red.
We have a latecomer to the party.
You're starting to make my hourglass angry. lepers.
Hello.
All right, Askren, did we totally wreck your overlay, or is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's wrecked.
All right, so Eric has joined the party. A new gamer has appeared. Why don't you introduce yourself to the viewers, as we have a surprise guest? The last of our players has arrived. Go ahead and let them know a little bit about yourself, where they can find you online, and what character you'll be playing today.
Well, you can't really find me online, I guess. I don't know. I have a Twitter, but whatever. For me to tell stupid jokes. But I am playing Bosch Quaffbog, the Goblin Bard, who sees himself more as a motivational speaker and salesman than a musician. And has come to the, what was it? The town of Brahma, are we
Brahma, yeah, the village of Brahma.
To come to the town of Brahma after, he wouldn't tell you, but getting kicked out of the last town for selling his wares that may or may not work.
He's a shim-sham man, snake oil salesman of sorts.
Yes, a snake oil salesman. And honestly, he really believes in his product, though.
What? That's the best kind of snake oil salesman. It's kind of George Costanza-like. It's not a lie if you yourself believe it.
Yes.
What's his armor class and passive perception?
Armor, let me move a box, and I will tell you this. His passive perception's 11, I know. And his armor class is 14.
Cool. We're going to assume you're kind of in the back. So to bring you up to speed,
Yes.
The party has begun. They're underway. They've been sent to retrieve a strongbox from the ruins of Orkgard, and they have encountered a group of leper goblins. There's 30 of them. They're blocking the way on the dunes. Some of them are up higher on dunes. Right now they're startled because the grounds are kind of tremoring thanks to Tane's thaumaturgy spell. He did give them food. Now he's bringing down the wrath of his imaginary god upon the goblins. It's actually technically he has performed a miracle and he's channeled it through his hourglass. And the goblins are startled by this. In fact, they start to they seem like they're panicking, and when goblins panic, they tend to get violent.
I'm going to try to tell him real quick. Wait. Bosch, I think your oil can cure their leprosy, can't it?
Oh, absolutely. There's almost nothing it can't do. So I'll rummage through my sack, pull out a vial liquid, uncork it, give it a whiff. Oh yeah, that's a strong one.
Make sure to put it on all their sores.
I'll call out to them in Goblin and be like, I may have a cure that will change your life.
One of the elder leper goblins kind of waddles up in his potato sack. They wear these potato sacks so they can hop around the desert and not burn their feet. Kind of waddles up. He starts to form a tear in his eye. He's like, I've always waited for the day when we'd find the cure. And then there's like his old leper goblin wife, and everyone knows a goblin wife who is best waifu, and she's crying too. She's like literally weeping. And they start to line up for you to apply the ointments to their scalps. What do you do?
Make sure to get him in all the nooks and crannies.
Oh yeah, sure.
Hold
I'm
up
going to
their
step back
arms,
like 20 feet.
spread their legs.
I will.
They're kind of like
I'll be
making
folks,
sand angels.
Just line up. There's plenty for everybody. Don't worry. Now,
How much do you have?
Is this going to be like a group? We can do a group rate for this.
You get to pass our dunes, they say. We're not interested in money. That's something to think about too. Like, this is mostly barter system, since metals are extremely rare in this world.
I will start to, from a distance, anoint them with the snake oils, and remind them there's 4 to 6 weeks for maximum effectiveness.
Make a deception check.
All
with
right.
advantage, because
Is that just in the?
Okay. I was gonna try to give him help by Annie would
That
be
is
like,
a 21.
Go ahead and roll again. 21's pretty good. They seem to buy it, and they've been given food, and they've been treated for their leprosy. And I think these goblins are willing to let you pass. Now, the leader says they'd still like some water, so if you can just leave them with 2 gallons just for the young ones, and they point, and there's a group of like 5 smaller goblins, it'd be greatly appreciated. What do you do?
I have 2 water skins, so they're both full, so I could just give 1. I think 2 water skins is 1 gallon, right? I think that's how it is. So we need 4 total. Is that right? Here's another thing I'm thinking.
Good with the European conversion chart.
I'm gonna huddle up with the team and whisper. How about we go around the dune, and we get a big container, and we all pee in it, and we just give it to them, and we leave. What do you think? Oh, we can all pee in it, guys. What do you think? You can drink your own urine in times of stress.
Were we not supposed to be doing that?
I mean,
is your water skin full of urine, boss?
Most
Quick
of the
question:
time,
It's water plus.
Is the well that they knew about, is that in the same direction we're going?
No, you're traveling to the east. There's an oasis to the north.
Gotcha.
Does it look like it's gonna rain? Probably not, right?
Well, there are some large clouds in the distance, but they are a purplish color. And Annie knows that...
That's a spell storm.
Yep, there are arcane storms.
Well,
yeah, we don't want to get caught in the open in that.
I'll give him one of my water skins. That's all I got, lepers.
that's fine.
Good luck to you, friends.
All right, I'm going to roll a d20. And if I roll higher than a 5... the goblins have accepted all of your offerings. Higher than a 5. The goblins appreciate doing business with you. They refer to Bosch as Saint Bosch now. Saint Bosch, the kind. And better hope.
Yeah, and Annie would go ahead and say, like, he cured me, so just be sure to use it, like he said, like 4 weeks. Yeah, it'll be fine.
And remain pure at heart, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, bye.
They all start singing, yeah, and you're free to cross your way. Now, you guys are traveling on these sand walkers. Essentially, they're tall-legged. If you could imagine the Landstriders from the Dark Crystal, except they're more like beetle-skinned creatures, much more harsh, much more sturdy. So you guys were actually quite a bit above the goblins, and each of you rides on one. And you are headed off into the distance. Now, my question for you, who scouts ahead of the group to make sure the way is safe, and who is keeping the group's pace, essentially the trailblazer? Who's keeping track of supplies, and who's keeping track of time? So I need to know who's the scout, who's the head hiker, who keeps track of supplies, and who keeps track of time.
I will, of course, volunteer for supplies.
I can scout ahead, and with my natural explorer ability, we can kind of move at a normal pace, and also I can forage for food, which will be mostly, I assume, like bugs and various small rodents.
But you'll be able to do one of these things at a time. So
Right.
You'll either be foraging, scouting, and you're making sure they go a good pace because you're finding them the safest routes and
Right.
like that. Part of the scouting. So am I assuming you're the scout?
Yeah, I'll scout.
Okay.
I
And
can keep time.
he's great at that, as old as he is.
Old as he is.
And that leaves our head hiker, our tail-end Charlie, essentially, as Tane. So here's what I want. I'd like Annie to go ahead and make a perception check for me. I'd like Tane to make a survival check. I would like... I'd like Tane to make an athletics check. I would like Bosch to make a survival check. And I would like Shadow to make a nature check. Let me know how you guys do. Actually, I can see in roll 20. It's that chainmail.
Got a 16 on survival.
All right, so
15 on nature.
Yeah, I might be while scouting out. I might also be working on a new scrimshaw's carving, so I'm not really paying attention.
yeah, you're not paying as much. So let's see, Shadow, you make sure that they you're doing a good job helping them keep track of the time of the day. In fact, you're actually leaning on Tane a little hard. In what way do you try to motivate him? Do you try to scare him? Do you try to be encouraging? In what way are you trying to help Tane move a little faster during the hike?
I remind him of the ominous purple cloud on the horizon, and that we have to seek shelter before that overtakes us, because there's no telling what sort of horrors will be unleashed on us as if we get caught in it.
Now, my question for you, Tane, is this enough to cause you to want to go faster, or do you try to travel just as fast as your body feels it's capable of going?
I'll go faster, and I'll tell him. I want to give him like a grab his hand, be like, yeah, and I'm gonna go. Success is a journey, not a destination. Let's ride, Shadow into flame.
Montaigne, we don't want to be caught out in the storm. Besides, I'm curious to know more about this hourglass of yours, and it seems a dangerous thing to talk about in the open.
Yeah,
Hey, Shadow in the Flame. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Let's roll.
He's great.
Shadow just
I've
looks
got,
at him with those reptilian eyes and just blinks once and then keeps going.
I just keep an ear out for the. Sounded like there was a rare item being talked about, and I'm just gonna.
All right, now, Annie, you notice off on some dunes in the distance, there are some red-skinned orcs wearing tough reptilian leather outfits that is bluish in scales. They're wearing black bandanas over their faces. They have their eyes on you, and they clearly see you. And this is while you're scouting ahead, and you're a good maybe 120 feet in front of your party members. What would you like to do? They clearly see you.
Before we do that, but I just want to give a thank you to Byron 1187. He donated $20, and he says one inspiration each for the WebDM hosts.
And that is Brian Ross. Brian Ross.
Did I read that wrong? I read Byron. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm horrible.
His name's spelled a little different, but Brian is actually my dungeon master IRL at the table. He's been playing D&D since about 1976, and retired Marine. Appreciate everything he does. He's a great guy. So thank you, Brian.
Thank you for the inspiration.
Thank you very much.
So you notice there's two of them. They have longbows. They clearly see you. And
if I had run-ins with these orcs before, like they're bad news, yeah.
Yeah, these orcs don't seem they're not wearing any Imperial Sand King insignia. These orcs have probably broken off and are trying to establish their own lands. And you know that go ahead and make just a straight either survival or insight check to determine kind of their disposition.
While that's going on, also, Susie King donates $20, says 2 inspirations to Bosch because your Twitter is pretty solid.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so can I make a survival and May, my wolf, make an insight check?
Yeah. Or one of you can make one roll with advantage, so whichever's higher. How would you like to do that?
Well, then I'll just make a survival. All right, 21.
You know that these orcs mean bad news. They are clearly bandits and robbers, and you don't believe the skins they wear belong to them. They've probably stolen them from other creatures that they've ambushed on the roads.
And how many did you say? Do I see?
2, just 2.
Oh, just 2.
Yes. Now the rest of the party. Tane, refresh my memory. Did you say you picked up the pace, or you kept going your own pace?
I picked up the pace.
Okay, you're going to be suffering from 1 level of exhaustion for picking up the pace. You're just having a hard time riding. You're not very good at leading the sand riders. They're just not your mount of choice. And you, gents in the back, are ambushed by a pair of orcs coming from behind. Now, Annie is about 120 feet in front of you, and about 40 feet from her, she has spotted on the dunes 2 orcs with arrows. Now, the orcs that are coming up from behind, they are separate. They are flanking. She didn't quite spot them while she was scouting ahead. These are all just sort of based on the rolls that people got while traveling. So let's go ahead and I would like the group in the back to roll. Jim, why don't you roll 1d8? This will be the initiative for everyone in the back, and I will roll the enemies there. Pruitt, I'd like you to roll 1d4.
Got an 8 for us in the back.
Okay.
So just lows go first.
And this is what I'm talking about. There we go.
All right, so it's going to go archers, and then it's going to go warriors. The warriors are nearby the other party, which means they could move and then be engaged with the party and fight them. And the archers are also between far away and nearby. This is abstract positioning, essentially, just so you can sort of get an idea how close they are. But both of those groups are distant from the melee combatants primarily, or the flanked individuals. So let's go ahead and roll with the archers, and give me a quick chance to check their stats and roll. Thank you for waiting, my friends in the chat, as I roll and kill these dumb bats. Sorry, you're not dumb bats. All right. And roll 20. Roll 1d20 plus 5. So 1 shooting at Annie. Does not hit on an armor class 7. And the second one shoots at Annie. Critical hit.
Ooh.
Oh, it's been fun, guys.
Yeah, he's like, Grant's a great dungeon master. Go ahead and make a
I
Constitution
don't know
saving.
what happened to that halfling scout we sent ahead.
Just
You
dead.
take 12 points of piercing damage and make a con save for me.
Is this versus poison?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm glad I'm stout. $15.
15 is enough to make it. You are not poisoned. And then let's move to the warriors. One is going to be attacking the Praz. I wanted to call him Templeton, but he's not Templeton. Yeah. And Praz has an armor class of 14. He has been hit for 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And one is attacking Bosch. Hits for 8 points of slashing damage. And now it is Annie's turn.
Okay. Well, she doesn't like having arrows shot at her, so she's going to put her heels to May and have her go after the one that hit me. So I'm going to have May run up and attack this first one, and since I am within 50 5 feet, she gets advantage
Yes.
to the attack. So that's a 15 to hit.
15 hits.
I'm gonna
Roll
need a
damage.
DC. I'm gonna roll damage. Need a DC 10 damage. Need a DC 11 strength save or be knocked prone. And by the way, in the movement, I'm pulling out my short sword and
Not knocked prone.
okay. Pulling out my short sword and shield.
Okay.
And then Annie will swing at the same one.
Critical
And
hit.
I believe I just critted.
Yeah, you just critted.
Nice. So,
Go crazy.
but it didn't add. Oh, I thought I put the crit damage incorrect.
It's all right. You can just roll another die.
So meh. So tack on another 8 damage. Or I'm sorry, 11.
That's enough to take out that orc. All right, our dream team in the back fighting the 2 orc warriors. Who would like to go first, and how would you like to engage? Now, these 2 guys are engaged with Praz and Bosch. Shadow and Flame and Tane are both nearby. You guys could gap close on them and become engaged or attack from range. It's up to you. You are technically on your mounts.
Well, I would like to, it's all right, Prez, shout out to the orcs, give them my professional recommendation that they should probably, or to one of them, that he should definitely grab his friend and hunker down because that spell storm is coming on any minute now. Now, he's going to need to make a wisdom saving throw to avoid this really great advice that I'm giving him. So that's basically a suggestion.
You got a 16.
It's just good advice to have, just to know about.
We make note of that and consider your suggestion, but opt to pass this time.
They seem a little preoccupied. Yeah, killing me.
And Prez, what would you like to do?
He'll kind of grit his teeth at Bosch's attempt to convince him and say, they only respect deeds. Swing his club at one's face.
Roll attack.
All right.
It hits.
Excellent.
Roll damage.
That sucked.
Yeah, I've seen better rolls. It's Tane's turn. 3 points closer to death, though. So,
How many people are hurt in the party? There's
all of us emotionally.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
2 injured people.
Yeah, I got hit
Praz,
pretty
how
hard.
how hurt does Praz look?
He always looks a little hurt. I'm at like,
Tough upbringing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got lots of scars. I'm not bloodied.
Okay. I'm gonna can I make it to Annie in a move?
Annie is 100. Now, Annie at the end, you can't. So Annie's about 160 feet away from you.
Oh my god, you're on your own there, buddy. All right,
Mhm.
Prez. I'm gonna run over to Prez and I am going to touch him and cure his wounds.
Okay.
And as the holy energy fills through me, oh shit, damn it, Prez, I'm just gonna heal you. I have no healing rhyme for you.
Aw.
I know we hurt your feels, but boy,
Wait.
we're gonna give you some heals.
Oh, it's so bad. No, all right.
Yeah.
Here you go, Prez. I'm gonna fill you with holy pizzazz. D8 plus 2. Roll.
Well, we're here on the blackened dunes. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
That's so.
Good one. That was a good one. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. 9
I feel
points.
like I should be taking psychic damage for this.
Yeah. And I should be fired from Exploding Dice charity streams.
And then I'm gonna try if I can to, I have a high armor class. I'm gonna try to get the attention of the orcs so they can beat me up. And that's it for me.
Well, you definitely got their attention coming over there and laying on some healing juice. And as you did that, like the sands in your hourglass went upwards in reverse, and they kind of there was a slight glow to them as they swirled back up the hourglass, and it was quite mysterious to these orcs as they watched this new devilry at work. Shadow and Flame, what are you all about?
So I'm going to maneuver myself so that I'm about maybe far enough away from the 2 orc raiders so that they don't come at me. And then I'm going to gather the chaotic energies of the wastelands around me and shoot a bolt of them at the closest orc. And that's first level Chaos Bolt. Let's see if this works. Here we go. 12 to hit.
12 does not hit.
Oh, it shoots off and misses the orc, I guess.
Boom! And explodes a dune in the distance. The storm looks like it's starting to approach more rapidly. One of the archers over by Annie takes a shot at him but misses, and he is trying to outmaneuver her, but the wolf and he are quite a bit faster than him. Now, the two warriors that are engaged with Kraz and Bosch are still continuing to try to take their heads off. One rolls a 16 to hit Kraz, and one rolls a 16 to hit. I believe that hits both of them. Correct?
Yep.
So let me just look for average damage straight for this. Is 6 points each, and then they follow up with second attacks, both of them. A miss and a miss. Yeah, and a miss. So they missed with both. Let me double check that archer. I don't believe he gets 2 attacks, but let me just double check. No, he does not. All right. You are free to go, Ms. Annie Oakley.
Yes, she'll scream for me. Kill! Attack him! And because her blood is up now. And misses horribly. It's all right. The wolf's kind of dumb. But she will follow up with a short sword attack. And I will miss as well.
Got that D8 inspiration dice, Pruitt.
And since it was a critical fail, the wolf is kind of running circles. It just didn't even quite attack. It's like circling around. Not too sure what it kind of looks back at you. Then it looks back at the orc. It's like, is this a game? Are we playing fetch? I see things coming. I ate one of them. You want me to eat 2? Come on, I'm full. And now let's shift to Bosch. How are you handling these orcs that are attacking you?
They're quite unsavory. I will turn to look at the one that is nearest to Praz, the one that Praz was attacking, and I'm going to whisper through my magical teeth. Generally, how he's not invited to this caravan. We were gonna have a luncheon later, and he didn't bring his pass. And it's going to worm his way into his subconscious and make him feel very uninvited from the situation. So I'm going to dissident whispers him, so he's got to do a wisdom save.
18.
All right, I'll continue to just have a bad attitude and get attacked.
He's like, please! All right, Praz. You've clubbed one in the face, knocked out a tooth of his.
Yep, we're going to attempt that again, all the while sort of shaking his head that this goblin won't pull a weapon.
These are good spells!
Critical hit. Double your damage dice on this one.
Got the best spells. The hugest spells.
The best spells. You've never seen spells like this. People tell me all the time they love my spells.
So just one set of modifiers for one of them. So is that a 15?
I guess so.
Yeah. Wow. You definitely knock the nose right off his face. His jaw's broken and is apparently shattered and it's lopsided. And even his orbital bone around his eye has cracked, and he has a massive hematoma forming on the side of his orc skull. Tane's turn.
Okay, so is there any orcs around me right now?
Yeah, there's 2 nearby, or 2 engaged with you technically. So they're both close enough to hit you if they wanted to.
Engaged with me. Okay. All right. I'll just bust out my mace and hit the one that looks the most hurt. I'll take a.
Yeah, there's one who looks like he's in really rough shape.
All right. Let's see here. I think I missed.
Nothing but air.
That's it for me, I think.
All right, Shadow and Flame.
All right, so that one orc that's hanging on, I'm going to target them with a firebolt, sticking my blackened claw out at them and launching it. So let's see. Here we go. Roll 19.
You definitely hit. Roll damage.
There we go. And it's going to be 8 fire damage.
All right, 8 fire damage. He is down to 1 delicious hit point remaining. Yeah, and it is now their turn. So the one who has 1 hit point remaining, you notice his jaw realigns in its head. His nose straightens out, and the hematoma begins to de-swell as he uses his Berserker heal to heal himself for 11 hit points. And they both turn on. Praz, both of them, and begin attacking him. So 1 critical hit, so that's 12 points. How are you doing hit point wise?
If I just took 12, I'm down to 6.
All right, well, he swings again, 16 armor class. He hits you for 6 more. Is that enough to knock you down?
It certainly is.
All right, and then the next one turns on Bosch and swings, hits for 19, so 6 points of damage. How are you doing health-wise?
Down to 4.
He turns and swings again. That's 6 more, so you're down as well. Bad boy Grant, guys. And
my oils did not protect me.
The archer in the distance shoots at Annie. Armor class 16. Your shield's out, so it's an 18. Does not hit. And it is now Annie's turn.
Okay, she'll yell at May like, "No, kill him!" Tired of her playing around.
Quit playing.
Oh wait, I didn't roll that with advantage. Sorry. Does a 13 hit?
13 hits.
Oh, it does.
Roll
Okay.
damage.
Well then.
Actually, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. Armor class 14 on the archers. Apologies.
Okay. Well, Annie will go ahead and take a swipe with her short sword, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration.
Okay.
What is that? Just a D8? Yeah.
I'm going to roll that it's inspiration as if the dungeon master gave it to you, so you can re-roll the entire d20 if you'd like.
Okay. I'll do that. Dirty 20.
Yep. You
With,
totally hit.
It's going to be actually 12 damage since they're my favorite enemy. Sorry, I didn't add that in last time. So
Okay, so I'll actually add it to this one. So he's down to 5 hit points remaining.
Okay.
All right, it is now Bosch's turn. Bosch, make a death saving throw.
Can I use my inspiration on it?
Yes.
All right.
So it's a fail.
No.
All right, so 1 failed saving throw. Praz, go ahead, make a death saving throw.
Ta-da.
That's a success. And it is now Tane's turn.
All right. This one is really terrible, but I'm gonna cast Prayer of Healing. So they're every Shadow. Are you hurt at all, Shadow?
No, Shadow's fine. He's actually
The 2 that are down are gonna heal.
He's surprised and laughing at us all.
Let's see. Roll 2d8 plus 2. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so you each get 10. And as I cast it, this is terrible. I'm sorry. My group is starting to droop. I will help you recoup. Oh,
I liked it.
please don't.
I want that on a loop.
Please
No.
don't punish me.
Do we need to take this healer?
That rhyme was the poop. No, I'm just messing. I actually liked it. I appreciate Sean's creativity.
Just to check, who is that targeting?
Everyone over there.
Everybody. Oh, okay.
So you guys are no longer. You guys, you're still prone on the ground, but you get 10 hit points.
And I was not in range for that, correct?
It's within 30 feet, so I think
No, you're quite
away.
fine.
Sorry.
My snake oil did work. I'm back.
Life goes back into the body. Shadow and Flame, it's your turn.
All right. So there's still 2 orcs on us back here, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. It's time to bust out some AoE. Is there a way that I can maneuver my desert beetle strider in a position that I can hit 2 of them without hitting my friends?
Yep. You could actually do that in this situation based on the positioning of the party.
So I'm actually going to cast the spell Dragon's Breath. And in this case, it's going to be acidic. And it's going to launch out. That's with a bonus action, and then cast it, and then use my action to breathe it, which is a DC 13 Dex save or take 3d6 damage.
All right. Well, you hit, but they're immune to acidic damage. Just kidding.
Oh, really?
No, just kidding.
Oh my god.
It actually gains them health back.
Right.
They failed,
great.
so go ahead and roll damage.
All right, let's see. Roll 3d6. Here we go. That's not the right
Put a
command,
splash in front of
Jim.
it.
Yeah.
There we go. That's going to be 12 damage to the 2 of them.
Kills one, and one is looking pretty burned down. You know, half his face is melted off. You can see portions of his skull now exposed, radiating.
Shadow and the Flame is suitably pleased at this outcome.
All right. And that one, as a bonus action, screams real loud and his flesh reforms around his skull. And he is back up to almost full health. And he charges towards Shadow and Flame. Go ahead, Tane, make an opportunity attack as he runs past you. You hit. Roll damage. 11 points. So that puts him back down to where he was.
Well, I think that was another attack roll, actually.
Oh, roll damage then. All right, so he's actually a little healthier than he was. He's still 13 will hit and a 20 will hit. So he hits you for 12 points of damage.
All right.
And he's essentially nearby the rest of you now. Annie, let's deal with this archer who's over there by you. He's kind of making a long loop around, running away, almost headed back towards your where your party is. He's kind of retreating in that direction, but he does fire at you. Armor class 16 is not enough to hit because of the shield. I'm actually going to rule that the wolf jumped, caught the arrow, and snapped it in half. Still playing that game of fetch.
Yeah.
And, let's go ahead, and it's Annie's turn.
Well done, May. She's going to get extra back rubbings when this is all over. All right. So
that's a hit.
22 to hit. Takes 9 damage from the wolf, and I need a DC 11 strength save.
No, you don't, because he's dead. He falls prone to the ground, ripped to shreds.
Okay. And how far away from the party are we now?
You're about 120 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're still a ways away.
I feel like now would be a good time to interject. Hawk Hunting donates $15. He says, not 20 to Annie for getting the smooth criminal joke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's right there.
It's great.
Oh, that's right there.
Thank you, Hawk.
Can I have the wolf move about 40 feet closer to the party and be pulling out my short bow at that while doing that so that I can fire off at that last orc?
Absolutely. Take a shot.
That's probably not going to do it.
You hit Jim. Shadow and Flame drops. No.
Oh, what?
All right. It is now Bosch's turn. So you're prone. You could use half your movement to get up if you'd like.
I don't think I need to get up for what I'm about to do.
He's just going to make sand angels.
Play dead.
Just make sand angel. I lean up. I go, nobody kills Bosch except for Bosch. And I'm casting Shatter while clapping.
Oh.
There are still 2 warriors near Praz and me.
There's one warrior near Shadow and Flame, and you would hit him in the shatter radius, most
He's
likely.
got plenty of health. So that's going to be Constitution saving throws.
All right, make a con save, Shadow and Flame.
Go 14.
Nat
I
20.
die. I get excited. I'm not paying attention to who's there.
God.
What's the spell DC?
Oh, 12. I think
All right, we both saved. So is it half damage?
it would be half damage. Yes.
Is
And
that
I'm
so
going to-
1d8 or 2d8 rounded down?
3d8. Nope. Hang on. So it would be half of that.
All right.
All right, so 7 points of damage. All right.
Okay.
It is now our main man, Praz's turn.
Oh yeah. So I'll pop up and club the one that's still by me and the goblin.
All right, go ahead and roll, make an attack roll.
Shazam! I think that'll hit.
That'll hit, roll damage.
Here we go.
You knock his orc head clean off, and the orcs have been defeated by the party.
Stay dead.
Ta-da!
Good job, guys. So their red skin are burning there in the blackened sands, and their ambush has clearly proven fatal on their behalf. And oftentimes, since the world is so harsh, it's best to just negotiate. Now that arcane storm is coming in quick. You feel you might need to make double time to the canyon in order to get there. Do you do so, or do you keep going the same speed?
We should probably not get caught in it.
Yeah, I don't think getting
Yep.
caught in it's a good idea. We should double time it.
Yep, faster. We must go faster.
All right, you go
No time for
faster.
a pat down on him, I guess.
You go faster with no consequences, and you make it to the Zalum Canyon, called so because there's a legend that the serpent which wraps the earth in its coils once cut through this canyon in ancient time, forming the rift. Now, the storm's coming in fast, so you're going to need to look for some shelter or fabricate some. How would you like to do so?
Well, are there any loose rocks up on like the cliff face that we could maybe knock down to kind of block that direction to hunker down behind? Or
Do we have an hour before the storm comes?
You have roughly, your guess is between 45 minutes and maybe an hour. You're not too sure.
I have a ritual that I can make stuff worth up to 100 gold. I could make a little dumpy shanty if you guys want. Maybe.
A dome, like a rock dome.
Yeah.
I guess I have to. In the book, it's like I'm supposed to use metal, like coins or whatever.
No, yeah, you could use
Whatever.
you could use the equivalent. So you could find animal skins, animal hides.
well, luckily we took
The
the hides from
jackrabbit
those orcs.
staring at you guys. There is a white jackrabbit in the distance that is staring you guys down. Annie notices it. She has the highest passive perception. You could take shelter in the shanty shack that's about 300 feet away, or you can fabricate your own shelter. What would you like to do?
What's with the rabbit? What's that all about? Hey,
Would you like to talk to it? Would you like to approach it? Would you like to try to set a trap for it?
what the hell's this thing doing out here?
Uh,
Let's see if there's anything special or weird about it.
I could speak to it, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it can make a trade with me.
It might.
Give it some of your goo.
It's watching.
Rabbits do love goo.
yeah, I can help out Bosch with that with my primeval awareness.
Yeah, I can. I've got speak with animals that I could
All right.
saunter up. Hello, rabbit.
He responds back.
Hail and well met.
He would like some food. Kind of nods and comes a little closer, walking up.
I look to Annie. Do you have rabbits' foods?
twitches his nose.
She'll dig in her bag. She just has a bag full of stuff, and she'll pull out some, some like dried up like mushrooms or something and kind of toss it over. Like, good. And she'll nibble on some and give some to May.
So you're just eating it? You're not sharing with the rabbit?
No. I give some to the rabbit, but I also eat it as a show that it's not poisoned or anything, and give some to May, just kind of as a communal like.
Well, yeah, the rabbit sees a little offended that you ate from it and it doesn't get all of it, but it understands the gesture. So the rabbit kind of takes its portion, doesn't eat it, and kind of hops away with it.
I'll go, little rabbit, are there caves big enough for me and I suppose them?
Nods yes, and it kind of motions over to a cave to the left, which is surrounded by bones that have been bleached by the sun, and there's a horrible smell coming out of the cave.
Perfect. They must have died of exposure before they got in.
Yeah, they almost made it.
Are we going to explore this cave and get bones out of it?
Yeah. Now you did say that there was a shanty, like a.
Yeah, there's a little shack, and that's the rabbit's headed over in that direction.
What about that shack?
Well,
Hey,
works
rabbit.
for me.
The
Is it
rabbit.
exposed anyway? Like,
There is a slight overhang. It seems to be kind of built into the side of the cliff. Annie, go ahead and do a history check with advantage. See if you can.
My. Now, does this have to do with humanoids? Because I would get my.
Sure.
Hey, 18.
Yeah, you know that there used to be a trading post along the Zolom Trench, and however, it became unsafe as bandits and raiders became more prominent in the region, and there was it was eventually abandoned and run down. So you're familiar with it. It's a local landmark.
Okay. Hey. If we look, maybe we'll find provisions. I don't know. It's been a while.
The rabbit hops over to the shack and goes inside and just kind of hops under the broken door.
So what do you guys want to do? Death Cave or the shack?
I think the shack is a little bit better option. I mean, I don't mind death caves as a principle.
It's just that we're almost already dead.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the Death Cave might seal the deal.
Maybe we should rest before venturing into the death cave.
Yeah.
And are trapped inside by the storm.
Yeah.
Now that storm is coming up. That storm will probably be here in about half an hour, you guess. Shadow and Flame knows. He can feel the magic surging from it.
it's all crackling on his scales.
Yeah.
Shadow and the Flame smells a trap with this completely docile and normal bunny in the middle of a desert that's guiding us towards a shelter.
How does the trap smell?
He flicks his tongue out and it smells
Make an insight
like...
check.
Let's see. Here we go. I don't know. That for me is perhaps he's just being paranoid.
Yeah, it's hard for you to discern the bunny's intentions.
But either way, he's going to let his stalwart companions lead the way if we are going into the shelter. But he's suspicious. Something seems wrong about this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to split the party and send half into the death cave and half into the...
Now, if we walk into a trap, we should just walk in.
We're splitting
together.
up into singles, and then we're going into more places.
Thane will make his own shelter.
You guys want to
that.
vote? You want to vote for it?
I do
think we
not
should
want to
go
go
to
into
shelter.
the Death Cave.
Yeah,
No
I think
Death
we should.
Cave?
No
I
Death
think we
Cave.
should try this shelter.
Yeah,
Kind of like the Death Cave, but okay.
we'll do the one that's the disguised Death Cave.
Yeah.
No, as the so was it death cave or shelter?
I'll go with shelter if we're.
Shelter. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
And Jim's just like, I'm going in that cave. His bones get spat out. There's like, it was nice playing with you guys.
I'll just stand in the storm.
Disappears from the screen. It's like, F this. I don't trust that rabbit. All right. So now you know that with the storm coming down, you can see that this shanty shack isn't in great shape. There's holes in the roof, there's holes in the walls. But as mentioned by Tane earlier, he could probably help patch it up, conjure some materials, use skins, and use some things lying around. How would you guys like to continue to defend from the storm that's approaching? You know you have to do something. Describe to me what sort of precautions you want to take before the arcane storm hits.
Do any of you guys have carpenter's tools or whatever that is? No?
I mean, I have carver's tools to carve bone, but you know.
There are some husks and shells and some larger creature bones here in this shack and around about in the canyon if you wanted to try to shape the bones to maybe fit a little better in spots.
Don't we have those huge animals with us?
You do. Do you want to bring them inside with you? Or
Well, I'm just saying they have big shells, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
You want?
we kill
You're
them.
talking about killing one of them?
Well, we could eat
Then
them, and we could
well-
use the shells for shelter. Right?
For sure.
Okay,
But
everybody.
what do
Buddy
we do
twitches
after?
his nose at you, just
I'm fine with that. That's okay with me. I also can conjure a web of shadows that can help hold this thing together. It'll last about an hour, which hopefully will be long enough for the storm to pass.
I'm gonna look just to see if there's any secret, like tunnel underneath this place or something like that.
go ahead and make an investigation check.
All right, investigation.
So are we inside the shelter now?
I got a cool 11.
Yeah, I assume that you are freely moving in and out as you make preparations. Now, you notice there's not a secret passage, but there is a compartment built into the floorboards, and there is enough room. There's a small makeshift ladder that goes down into roughly a 5 foot by 5 foot hole where there is a lantern tacked on the wall. There's hides with strange markings on them. Unlike you're not familiar with the characters and the letter forms that's being kept down there. As you open it up, and look inside, you notice the bunny scoots the boards back on top of it and kind of gives you the stink eye.
Bosh, can you talk to this thing?
Don't know if I want to talk to this very suspicious rabbit anymore. He may learn my secrets.
I think this thing knows more than it's letting on.
It knows more than nothing.
Observing this animal's
Very
behavior,
suspicious for a rabbit.
Let's play good cop, bad cop.
Yes.
Is there I mean, Shadow in the Flame is gonna be like, is this this doesn't seem like a natural bunny.
No, make an Arcana check.
Alright.
Well, he's a different
And,
color environment, right?
Make it with advantage because Annie would be able to. She's very familiar with desert rabbits and things of that nature. So
The two of us will confer,
yeah.
whispering with each other. All right, maybe not. I got a 10.
The bunny is highly intelligent. Perhaps it was trained by a circus troupe from the big city.
Suspicious bunny, surviving out here all on its own. All right.
It doesn't have any red discolorations around its mouth.
Right.
Can we see
overly
down
large
in
teeth.
that 5 foot hole? Can we see if there's another secret door?
No, because the bunny closed the lid. Do you open it again?
No.
All right.
Annie will like
Bunny
pull out
gives you
some
the
more.
thumbs up.
Annie will pull out some more food and be like, "Can we look around if we give you food?"
Oh yeah, and then
said no.
if it's distracted, I'll kind of do a sneaky peek.
It roundhouse kicks you across the nose for 1 point of damage as you go, and as it does that, it grows into the size of a 7 foot tall orc bound in hides, a curly hat, and he's missing an eye, and he carries a cane. He goes, "That's my hole where I sleep."
Oh, terribly sorry, friend.
Yeah, I just can't have you poking around my things.
Oh, of
They're
course
mine.
not.
When I was a boy, my mother used to poke around my things, and I can't have people poking around my things.
I know how you feel. Our den mother used to get up in my food when we would be splitting the evening meal. I didn't like that.
Understood. You're free to save here. but you better work hard to patch this place up. Someone go ahead and make a survival check with advantage to see if you can patch this place up. He goes, that storm's a-coming. The hole will be the only safe place. There's only room in it for me. So 16, you did pretty good. You managed to get all the walls patched in roughly no time at all. You managed to block most of the roof with some hides that you have around. My question is, did you feel the need to do this with a killed beast or just things hanging around? It makes a difference. Did you kill one of your mounts or did you just use things coming around because the storm is hit? Which did you use to patch?
I would just say this. Annie would argue not to kill one of the beasts because we still have to move through the desert after the storm passes, and it would just make that harder. Okay. So that would be her argument.
And Bosch is worried that he will be the one who will have to walk.
Drag by the other
mountain. Yeah, on a sled behind.
Woo!
Can we ask the orc what's in the death cave?
There he goes. Sand Reaver. Looks like you might have fashioned some of your clothing out of its hide. A little one. But they grow to be quite big, and I believe there's one in there a good 10 to 20 feet long. Depends. I've never got a good look at them. I tend to not go into death caves.
Smart.
That, gentlemen, I will be right back in 2 minutes. You can plan amongst yourselves as the storm hits.
Okay.
So I was pretty much going to plan right before the storm hits to web the walls and door, just to give it, and that'll, as long as I'm concentrating on it, that'll last an hour, and maybe that'll give it some more strength if there's like a coating of web around the
hold the bits.
Hold the bits in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can try to, with my small stature and sneaky kind of attitude, I'll look for like spots that like, oh, I would have broken through that to get in here. Mm-hmm. Kind of patch it a little better.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Annie would have just been going out and gathering as many of the bones as possible, not getting too near the death cave, but and just the same, just bracing walls here with a big thigh bone, and that
walk up with a sack full of bones, like a
hey, it was a good haul, guys.
Black Desert Santa.
Yeah, pretty much.
How many of us do you think could fit in that hole if we all squeezed in?
Well,
got a goblin and a halfling.
Yeah, thanks to halfling nimbleness, twice as many. And I think do goblins get the same thing, right? Where they can move through another creature space?
Or
do you?
No, I don't know if I can move through space, but I get some little extra sneaky stuff.
Oh, okay.
I can hide, so I'll just go into a basket and you can bring that down.
Right. So then it would just be what we have. Tane is a human, yes, and so is Praz, 2 humans.
Mm-hmm.
If we do have any time resting, we have any time resting before the storm, not patching, I can do a small motivational speech to give us 1d6 health.
There is literally no time before the storm. You would have to spend all the time working. We've established the manner in which you got it patched. And with that, the storm has hit. Now, there is time to rest. Hi, Cat. Man, we've got all kinds of cool cats on stream today.
Donate money!
Please.
All right.
So here's... Yes.
I was going to say, as the storm is about to hit, I want to use my web to cover all the walls, the door, everything. It might mean we have less space on the inside, but...
It is. You're all getting close and friendly together. However, you can tell as the storm hits, you see and you notice that the arcane lightning that's filling the trench, the Zolom trench that you canyon you were navigating through, there is a large silhouette outside. You can see it, and it's coming, and it's pounding on the door. However, your web seems to be the substance that's holding it out. This may in fact be the Reaper that was in the cave.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'll last an hour as long as I'm concentrating on it, and Shadow will just be in a meditative position, making sure that his concentration isn't broken.
Right. Now, the door is starting to splinter. The web is holding it, but you feel that there is a good chance that it might bust as this creature is now pounding into the door, and you can hear it starting to claw at the walls of the shack. What does the party do?
Annie is going to get up and look through like one of the cracks to see if she can see it out there.
She most definitely can. It's massive, about 25 feet long. Its claws are longer than most of your swords. It has a large snout and blunted edges on the side of its head that it's using to bash the door. It's splintering more wood, but the web is holding.
Mayhap we can encourage this thing to go away. I'm gonna hunter's mark it through the door.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna stick my spear through the door and just like try to stab it in its underbelly.
I will shout out it that we don't want any, and bane it.
I'm gonna ready in action
It's gonna
to
just
cast a spell at it.
yeah. So we'd have to make a saving or charisma save against being worse at stuff.
It's actually running off. When it got 100 marked and poked and baned at the same time, it got super mad. It made one last thump, which cracked the door and shattered it, but that was with its tail as it was turning around and leaving. And the webs hold. The rest of the night is very poor sleep, as that arcane storm lasts for at least 6 hours. And it is now early morning, and the sun is, the darkened sun, which is dim in the sky, red and dying, is low on the horizon. What does the party do?
Okay, so does that count as a full rest?
Yep, you get the full benefits of a rest.
Okay.
Just bad sleep.
Right.
Well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and use my hit dice to heal right quick.
You'll be at full.
Okay.
Anyone who slept, you're just already at full, so.
Okay. Well, I guess Shadow gets his mount prepared, and what was this orc's name, by the way?
His name was Balios.
I would like to thank Belios for his hospitality.
Yeah, that's where you're headed.
Oh, we're headed east. Just doing some scavenging.
Where are you scavenging?
Well, I mean, the few fleas of resourceful materials that are left to scavenge in this blasted wasteland. I mean, there's not a lot, right? You heard of any good spots?
The city, Chin City's a good spot to scavenge because there's a lot of people there, and people are often wasteful. The waste themselves, the animals tend to make use of all they find. Anything they don't make use of, well, it's essentially garbage.
I specialize in garbage.
As does Prez. And so he says if you ever need a place to stay, if you're traveling through the trench, he authorizes you to stay in his shack whenever you need it.
Thank you, Belios.
And with that, yes.
I was just going to leave him an actual like full day's ration for that hospitality, and
he appreciates it, but he refuses, and he also returns the portion of food that you offered him. He goes, I have plenty, but I appreciate your hospitality, and you are considered a friend of the orcs of this trench.
Nice. What do you know about the red-skinned orcs that fill their fighting prowess with rage?
Oh, they're brutal raiders. Most of them are deserters. They were in the Sand King's army, but they decided to go form their own city-state far to the north, and every now and then they raid the villagers that are under King Julian's protection down here.
Sand King.
Sand King Julian.
What other dangers are there in the Zolan Canyon?
Outside of the Sand Reapers and the occasional, rarely we get a leper goblin or two that strays off from its pack. Look out for the flying serpents, but they normally only fly in the evening on nights where there's no storm. And of course, the orc druids. We've been known to beguile people and lead them to their deaths if they prove unworthy. But outside of that, you, my friends, are the great perils of this land. You tend to attract a lot of attention.
I see. We will pass quickly and try not to disturb anything that we see.
With that, he bids you farewell and leaves his blessing on you. And the form of this blessing is inspiration for all members of the party. You are all role-playing exceptionally and have put a lot of effort into this, so it's greatly appreciated. So you each get a point of inspiration. Excellent roleplay. With that, who are you going to continue to head to the east, or are you going to explore the canyon?
I vote east. Make haste, Orc Guard.
Yes, haste makes waste.
Yeah.
In the wasteland, there's no waste.
And Annie, can you give us a perception check since you're leading the way?
Will do. A little better than last time, 15.
You notice that through there are strange streaks running through the canyon, almost as if something traveled through here by night during the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
So it's like drag marks, or maybe like wagon wheels, something like that.
Not wagon wheels. They're kind of sporadic. They're not very clean.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little disheveled, but something was definitely tromping on through here.
Anything like the Reaver we got sort of a glimpse of?
No, you can see its footprints in the sand. It's quite different.
Okay.
Can I make a survival or nature check to maybe try to see if I know?
You can do a
what this-
nature check.
Okay. Yeah. 17.
It's definitely a small humanoid that would have been rolling through the sands.
Rolling?
Yep. Probably trying to keep low out of the storm.
I think we got ninjas, guys. They were rolling through here pretty quick. I don't know.
Armadillo.
Awakened tumbleweeds.
Whoa. You got it.
Armadillo ninjas were rolling through here.
Armadillo ninjas.
And
Your head on a swivel.
I'm frightened. But keep your eyes out.
All right.
They were traveling with the storm, so they're probably pretty tough.
All right. As you
Tumbleweeds have prickles.
you come to the end of the canyon, and you notice a familiar pack of 30 goblins that look very upset. Deceivers! They say, deceivers! Deceivers!
Guys, we said 4 to 6 weeks.
Did you follow the instructions?
You lied! You lied! Liars!
I'll show them on the bottle where it says analgesic, and then tell them that it goes on their skin. Not. Sorry, I stole that from Scrubs. I'm not gonna take credit for that.
It's good.
You're supposed to rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
They go. They told us of you. They told us of you.
No.
Goblin liar. A liar to his brothers.
You must be thinking of somebody else. There are so many wonderful goblin salesmen in town.
There you go. Your reputation precedes you and follows you wherever you go, Bosh Quaffbog. What do you do? They seem
Can I
furious.
duck into a bag and like put on my disguise?
You're gonna
in
front of them?
Yes, it was him. He's in this bag.
describe to me how you'd like to do it. Are you looping behind the party? Are you running away from them? Are you running towards them? Are you just doing it?
Oh God. Hang on. I'm gonna consult my magic quickly. Gosh. Oh God. Okay. I got something that's not gonna work, but I think it'll be fun. So I'm gonna try to whichever one is like you're the guy I want.
Yeah.
Boss guy. I am gonna make him an offer that's basically, if I can let me give you a chance, if I can like smooth this over and get you to chuckle, then I think we can just be on our way and it's all good.
And he goes, if you don't get me to chuckle, we eat all of you for breakfast.
That's great. I was gonna eat us for breakfast anyway. It's fine. We can share. And I'm gonna ask him. How does a red orc with no nose smell? Terrible. And then cast.
No.
Cautious hideous.
I'm gonna start booing.
Boo!
You're killing me, man. I thought my group thing was bad. Hey, leprosy is a disease, right?
It is.
I have lesser restoration.
Do that immediately after I fail.
I can end. Oh, it's not. Blindness, deafness, paralysis, or poison. How tough do these lepers look? I mean, can they walk fast? Can they actually wield an item? I mean, what are we looking at here?
Most of them look pretty sickly, but they seem upset, angry, exposed to the elements, and as if the world itself has been unfairly cruel to them.
They're on
continuously.
Foot. They're on foot, right?
Yeah, but they got little bags around them, so they're in bags.
But we've got our striders, right?
You do.
Which are much faster than foot.
Much faster than them.
Let's just ride around them, guys.
I still want to cast this on him.
Dude,
all right,
I
okay.
cast it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get ready to just ride like the wind.
Because I can also, I
jest.
might like cause like I might like cast an illusion of a monster or something on the horizon to see if they'll scatter. If the laughter doesn't work.
You do that, yeah.
God, I just want one spell to land on somebody.
Please.
I want all of them to miss so I can tell stories about them to my children and my grandchildren. There was that one shot for charity in 2017. Not a single spell landed. All right, so he's got to make a save.
Yes. Which kind? Wisdom saving throw. Oh, his intelligence is over 4, right?
He got a 16.
God,
Dude.
he reacted like all of you did.
All right, so here's how this works now. We're going to move into a rule variant that I developed called a skirmish. So we're going to use an initiative system from Shadow of the Demon Lord. I need to know which of you players want to take a fast turn. That means you can either do one action or one bonus action, or you can move. And which of you players want to do slow turns, which mean you can do a regular turn, attack, move, etc. Players will always go before the NPCs. And we'll do fast turns for the players, fast turns for the NPCs, then slow turns for the others. Who's going fast?
Shadow is he's gonna go fast as soon as the
They're getting ready to
doesn't-
charge you guys.
Yeah, he's gonna have some sort of whatever sort of monster or creature that he can think of appear. Like, how far away can I make it appear? I can make it appear up to 60 feet away. So like behind a dune
And how
or a
large?
hill or something, up to a 15-foot cube. So it's like a giant, maybe like
Okay.
sort of like a drake or something.
Something large. Okay, yeah, like a sand drake or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll flee into the canyon for cover, which you guys are emerging from. So, okay, so you make that appear. Let me do a quick roll to see if it frightens. What's your spell DC?
My spell DC is 13, and I'm casting it subtly. If that makes a difference, so I'm no
It
verbal or
won't.
somatic.
But you do frighten a group of them in the back, and they won't move towards that thing. They will move in the opposite direction, but they'll have disadvantage on their attacks as well. So if they come through and try to attack you guys, they will attack with disadvantage. One group of them. So there's 30 goblins, so that's a cluster of 5. And let's see. Is everyone else doing slow turns, or is anyone else just taking a single action or a single move?
I'm gonna do a slow.
Okay.
Slow.
Just so I'm clear, what is the benefit of doing a fast turn versus a slow turn?
You get to go first. So if you're just attacking or just doing an attack action, you get it off first. And sometimes you'll notice if you're face to face, it's just like we're just going to see who goes down.
Right. Okay. Well, then I'm probably going to do a slow turn. So, you know.
And I'll also explain this to everyone too, because it might also impact your decisions. So for each cluster of 5 goblins, only one of them has full hit points, and he only has 5. The rest are minions from 4th edition that have 1 hit point. And if you have a large weapon or a great weapon, it will do cleave damage, meaning if you kill something and you have leftover damage, it will bleed onto the surroundings, so you can clear clusters faster.
If I can, I change to a fast one now that I've thought it over.
Yeah, I didn't give you all the information. And your spells can do AoE to clusters, and but they get mob combat, so they don't have to roll as high as your armor class to hit you. They can start hitting you just because there's large numbers of them. So go ahead, Bosch, take your action.
All right, I'm going to shatter them.
All right, go right ahead. So you can definitely shatter at least one cluster. So they're going to do a save.
10-foot radius of guys.
They don't save, so you're going to hit a full cluster of 5. So roll damage. And it was the one right in front of you, so that kills all of them in that cluster. So the one that was lunging at you just...
I think I'm going to go to a fast. Is there a clump like within 15 feet?
Yep.
Okay. So what
The furthest one, they're all nearby, so they're all fairly close.
So I'm going to hit a clump with once per day I can cast Burning Hands. That's
Okay.
15 feet, so they get a dex save, I think.
15-foot code. Yeah, so
Yeah, we got to break out of here. The cops are on their way.
that's what I hear. So they got the save, so is it half damage?
Yeah, so it's 3d.
Go ahead and roll.
Seven, so 3. Bummer.
So 3, it's so one of them's bloodied, but there's still a cluster of 5 there. Are the rest of you going slow, or are you? Is Annie and Praz? Are you going fast or slow?
I'm gonna switch to fast just so we'll try to scatter these guys. So I'm gonna whip out my bow and pop one of them from May's back.
Okay, the one that's singed or a different one?
I'm the one that's singed. Try to finish that off, and she's gonna actually bite another one.
How large is your bow?
It's a short bow.
Okay, just curious.
Okay.
If it's a heavy weapon or a great weapon, it will do the cleave damage. So,
okay.
Just curious to take note of.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's 6
Totally
damage to one of the leaders of one.
He's
of the
dead.
groups.
Yeah. Or yeah. Well, he's dead. So.
Okay. Now on a fast, does my wolf get an action also, or is it?
What would you like the wolf to do?
Just bite at another one, like another group.
Do you command the wolf as a bonus action?
It's a free action to command the wolf.
Let the wolf attack as well.
Okay. And oh no. Oh, well.
Misses. All right, and then the goblins. Half of them are firing little short bows from where they're at, and one's cluster is attacking what's the wolf's armor class?
Wolf's AC is 15.
All right, so 15 minus this. they would only need to get a 10 or higher to hit it at least once. So the wolf is getting shot at by 2 clusters. So the wolf takes 10 points of damage.
Shit.
Yeah, because there's so many, but that's 10 attacks. So just a volley of arrows come in.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them close in around our main man, Mr. Bosch, and they just kind of 15 goblins closing around him. Another 4 are running up towards Tane. They can't attack, they just moved in to be engaged with him so they could be on top of him. And that's their turn. So now our slow guy can go, so Praz can go.
So with the skirmish combat and the mobs, Grant, does the Sand Strider thing I'm riding count as a great or heavy weapon?
No, but it does count as a mount.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking about just sort of trampling towards Bosch in an attempt to sort of weaponize the height and the mount.
Knock him away. It can attempt to buck him. Normally, these Sand Striders try to avoid combat. They'll kick and defend themselves. Go ahead and make an animal handling check with advantage since it sees all these leper goblins, and we'll see if it can trample. Yep, it's going to
Riot control. Riding in there.
Yep.
It doesn't quite hit any of them though, and then it kicks again. Yeah, it's having a hard time kicking them, but you do make it over to Bosch.
Okay.
It just didn't hit any of the goblins. The rest, it is now the party's turn. Who wants to go fast? Currently, Bosch, Praz, and Tane count as engaged. The rest of you are nearby, and then some of the goblins are nearby as well, and the rest are engaged. So,
well, I know I would like to. Oh, I don't know if I can do it with going fast, but I can disengage as a bonus action and do a runaway.
That'd be a slow turn.
That'd be a slow turn. Okay.
Unless you just disengage, I'd let you just move and slip out of there, up to 30 feet.
I'll just wait it. I'll do something else.
Okay.
So, are there any clusters nearby that I can catch with a breath attack?
Absolutely. In fact, is your breath attack? Is it a straight line? Is it a cone? Is it?
This is my dragon breath weapon attack. So it's a cone of I'm calling it black fire, but it's a cone of fire damage.
You could move. Yeah, you could move to a separate cluster that's not engaged with anyone that on a slow turn. The rest, you'd probably catch one of your allies.
I'd rather not catch one of my allies, so I'll take a slow turn then.
Okay. Anyone else moving fast?
I think I'll do it fast.
Okay.
Would it be possible for me to bust out my crossbow and kind of take aim at like the shrimpy ones? I want to see if I can shoot my crossbow so a bolt goes through one guy's head. It just goes through the line like squish, 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 you know?
Take a shot.
All right, let's see here.
Is it a light crossbow or a heavy crossbow?
It's a light crossbow.
All right, so it'll probably get stuck in one.
Let's
You definitely hit though. Roll damage.
Light crossbow. That is a D8 plus 1. D8. 5 damage.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to roll a d20. If I roll 11 or higher, it's going to kill more than one. I rolled higher than 11, so the one that you hit earlier and 3 others all die. And they're yeah, now you still have 2 on top of you that are ready to attack you.
So
now,
I killed 3 total?
Yes.
I'm gonna look at the other guys and be like, pretty good.
Sharp shooting. Told you I didn't have much use for him. Not that I didn't know how to use them, Mr. Quigley Down Under. All right, so now Was anyone else going fast?
I was going to take a slow turn. So.
All right. So all the goblins on top of Mr. Bosch. So they only need to get an 8 to automatically hit you. So you're hit by one cluster. One cluster doesn't hit you. The second cluster hits you. So you take 10 points of damage.
Keep getting pin cushioned.
And then the rest are firing volleys at the wolf, and they need to get a 10 or higher to hit him. So 2 clusters hit for 10 points of damage.
Okay, my wolf drops.
All right, May drops. All right, it is now all the players who are taking slow turns.
All right. I'd like to move to an unengaged group and just like ride by on my strider and let out my my dragon's breath, which looks like a cone of black fire.
And they need to make a dex save.
Dex save DC 12.
Hints of purple flame.
They fail, so go ahead, roll damage.
It's gonna be 6 damage.
That's going to be enough to kill 3 of them.
All right. And then I'll continue to ride, so that I'm not exactly like right up on them.
Okay. And next slow turn, let's go with Raz or Bosch. You're taking a beating.
I'm going to defer to him anyway in case I need to pull him out.
Yeah.
I will. Am I also riding one of these striders? We each got one, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm just getting mobbed by guys, so
Yeah.
I am gonna finally do some melee stuff. Try to stab at as many of them with my spiked cane as I can.
All right, go for it.
Hey,
You definitely hit. Roll damage.
hey, all right.
Yeah, you take out two goblins.
And then use the remainder of my turn to disengage and try to ride my thing away from them, putting as many of my allies in the path between. And I was saying,
All allies are in the path.
heroes, all of you, truly.
You manage. You're only able to take it about 30 feet back, and then you move. So you get about 60, 70 feet away, because this thing can cover decent distance.
Yeah.
And who's got a slow action now? Is it
Me,
Mr. Praz or Annie?
I do.
Annie first.
Okay. I am going to tumble off of May's fallen body in anger, and basically whip out my short sword and a dagger and run at the nearest group of goblins in almost like a screaming rage.
Do it. Do it.
So
The wrath of Annie.
If you can come close to me, I have an idea.
Okay. So dagger attack, 16 to hit, and actually I'm going to need to add 2 to that damage.
And are you just 2 weapon fighting?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make another roll.
Okay.
And add the damage.
Wait, another.
Here's what I'm going to rule. Or your other attack. Well, that other attack didn't hit, did it?
Yeah. No, it didn't.
Okay, so you managed to kill one of the larger goblins in the center, but had it hit, I was just going to rule that you're like 2 weapon fighting and just cutting them down.
Gotcha.
And we'll just sort of hack these homebrewed rules while we're going. Bosch's turn, or Prez's turn.
I'm going to try and wheel my Sandstrider to sort of attempt to keep up, or at least aim towards where Bosch was, and just play polo with the club.
All right, take a swing.
That was crap.
No,
I'm not
you
going to blow the
missed.
inspiration on that, so.
You've beaten a lot of goblins, so I need to do a quick morale check for them. They need to get a 16 or higher to stay. They do not. So my question is, you want to chase down and kill the goblins, chase them down and capture some of them, or just let them flee?
Bosch is just going to yell that their accusations are fake news. And
Fake news!
It works. You just got to follow the instructions.
If there's time, I wanted to grab Annie by the ankles. She's got both of her swords, right? And then I just want to spin around. So if they're all around me, we'll just I'll just be like chopping them all. That's what I want to do. If Annie's okay with that.
Oh, she's completely fine with that.
That's how you finish them.
We're gonna get dizzy. I might throw up.
She's just like screaming in anger, like almost incoherent, just like "You stupid goblin!"
So yeah, you finish off all the goblins. Every last one of them is butchered.
Yeah. I mean, and she kind of barks every now and like lets out like barks and yips a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Seeing our victory, I'm gonna turn to Tane and I'm gonna go, "Hey, my name is Bosch, and I'm here to say that you are special allies in every way."
Oh.
Then uncork a snake oil and down it and be like, "You guys really should try some."
I'm just gonna throw up.
It's gotten me this far.
Nice.
Wait, does Bosch need healing?
Yeah, always.
Okay, so I'll come back and I'll
with his attitude.
I'll heal you for D8 plus 2.
So does this leprosy only affect goblins, or does it affect everybody?
It only affects. It's a curse that is placed on these goblin people by the Fell Beyonders when they corrupted this continent.
Okay, so I heal you for 4, and I go, "Hello there, oh little Bosch. Taste my healing backwash."
Oh.
I love it. Yeah.
Glug, 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 glug. And you get 4 hit points.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I would tap you on the shoulder, but I'm a tiny goblin, so I wound up slapping your ass.
You guys are great.
Freaking lepers.
Yeah, and Annie will pretty much just run over to May, like crying, even though.
Oh yeah, that. Oh jeez.
I can bring her back later.
Dead? You can bring her back.
I mean, technically by the rules, yeah, she dropped his it's a beast, so they don't have death saves. I mean, I have to do a ritual to bring it back, but.
Yeah, and the sun is beating down on you.
I have spare the dying, but if it's dead, I don't think I can do it.
No, it's dead. You spent all that time hunting down goblins and butchering them.
Maybe somebody could donate to bring the wolf back.
It's true. If we get a $10 donation, May rises from the grave and comes back. But it's got to happen before the end of the stream. Otherwise, May will never return.
Could it be like Pulp Fiction where
Use a Christmas miracle, you guys.
like
For the kids, guys.
Uma Thurman overdoses? So we go over and we're like,
Yeah.
I was like, maybe that we could do it because I have a healer's.
Don't beat Annie's dog.
Well, we're jump starting her heart. That's
Yeah. Annie might even forget
Cracking your
that
sternum.
Bosch is the reputation that Bosch has. Be like, do you have anything that will heal
Yes.
her?
What about the
It'll
snake
take
oil?
6 weeks.
All right. You travel.
Which I assume is a distance between towns, so I can escape.
Yeah.
You travel the rest of the day, and it's about noon, and you arrive at the smashed gates of the ruined city of Orkgard. There is a large pyramid in the center of the city where it is believed that the strongbox is being held. Now, there are many ruined houses and buildings in between, and Annie, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay.
So
You 15?
15. You hear loud rumblings moving through the cities, but you can't quite see any shadows or discernible movement. There's definitely loud, thudding through the city.
Is it? If not all of us heard it, can we tell if it's like a rhythmic
He
walking?
heard it first.
Okay.
If he mentions to other people that he hears something, I'll let other people check.
Oh yeah, no. May will immediately go into start throwing hand signals out, to alert everyone that there's something nearby.
Bosch, go ahead and make a perception check with advantage.
Hey.
There is a large creature bounding through the city, and you can tell it's not always moving on the earth itself. Every now and then you can hear change in the elevation of the noise, so it must be going from building top to ground to side of building. It's changing what axis it exists on routinely.
Yeah, I'll tell the party that there's some beastly interloper bounding around.
What do we know about the city of Orkgard?
You know that it was originally a human city. That was probably maybe 3,000 years ago. Then the orcs sacked it. The humans that lived here were not very just. They were considered as fell as the horrors that came from beyond. And the orcs lived here for about 4,000 years until they were attacked by the creatures from beyond. Now, those creatures don't exist here anymore. They left to other realms to the north. However, the city itself has no known inhabitants. There's smash gates in the front. There might also be other ways into the city, but you'd have to search for those.
Right.
I do want to interject. First of all, Katie Lasan donates $10. No tag for it, but I'm assuming that was for the
Dungeon Master? No.
Yep. It could only have been. So that was for that, and then Jonathan Pruitt donated $20. I don't know what that's for. I'm just gonna assume it's goodwill.
Well, Lassie comes running up. Lassie!
You know what? Because we haven't had one, I'm gonna count that as a wild magic surge for him.
We don't want to bring the dead dog back? We want to put a wild magic surge on him? Okay.
Yeah, she's donate the Calisan donated $10 to bring the wolf back. Yeah, give me a magic surge. Why not? It'll be fun.
Yes.
See if tentacles come out of my ass.
Roll a D10,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta keep it clean for the kids.
Tiny.
Your rear end or the language?
6853.
All right, let me
High
find this
fantasy
here.
Fanny.
Target's appearance changes to that of a zombie.
Oh.
I take on the dog's death or the wolf's death in order to bring it back. Mm-hmm.
You breathe your own life into it, and now you are, in fact, the dog.
What magic is that?
Dog starts chewing on you. Bones.
Annie and May. Yeah.
Annie, I'm so glad that May is back, but you look terrible.
Yeah, it's like.
Do you have something for that? Like some
you know what? I just
moisturizer?
might. Yeah.
You look horrible in natural light.
Yeah, let's get into some of these caves and buildings. Maybe it'll be a softer candlelit kind of thing.
The harsh sun. It's horrible. All right, so
Awesome.
May's back now. Would you like to search for other ways into the city? Would you like to investigate what's making the noise? Would you like to head for the pyramid where the strongbox is? What would the party like to do?
I'm curious about the noise. I'd rather not something come up on us. Is there a way we can get to a good vantage point to maybe get a better view of the city?
All right, make an investigation check.
Let's see.
Some outer ruin that we can kind of peek over. It's higher up.
All right, and I'd like to use one of my inspirations on this investigation.
So you notice. We'll go ahead and roll investigation.
And that's with advantage.
Yes.
Here we go. We got an 18.
You see in the far south corner of the city, there is a tall watchtower. And you being familiar with the way structures and defensive structures are built, you believe there may be a port that you can enter and then internal stairs that you can climb to get to the top of the watchtower.
Then let's go, and my vote is to go to the watchtower to see if we can get the lay of the land before we get too much further into the city.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
I'd like one of you to make a stealth check.
I could do that.
Several of us could do it. Doesn't matter, whoever.
Yeah.
Just one. At 20. The pounding is coming closer, and it almost seems to be following you along the walls. Do you want to flee from the noise that is coming towards you, or do you want to try to hide where you are? How would you like to try to evade this predator?
I'm gonna hide where I'm at. I'm gonna try to find like a shadowy corner. It's like right on top of us?
It's catching up quick. It's clearly coming. It's bounding. I'd say
I'll hide behind something.
I can create I'm going to use spell points to create an area of darkness that I can see through, but is otherwise magical darkness.
Well, I'm hiding in there.
Yeah, me too.
Get
Can
it
I?
close.
I'm gonna
Cram
tell.
in.
I mean, we're right outside the wall, right? And there's just sand around, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna tell May to burrow and just kind of like dig under the sand just a little bit, just kind of hide under it, and I'm gonna hide next to her.
Nose sticking out.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hide next to her, like at the ready to pop out in case, you know.
All right. Now, Shadow and Flame, you see, as you look up, there is a large backlit silhouette of a giant simian form. It's at least as wide as a house, and it's perhaps 25 feet tall. It's got brutish fists, and it looks down, and it's sniffing the air, and it smells your party and is getting ready to leap down. What does the party do? Quickly.
I'll warn them. I shout out a warning, and then
I'm gonna be like, "Who's touching me?" So dark in here.
To run into?
What's that?
Is there a building to run into?
Well, you know that there's a port that's probably about 200 feet away.
Is there time to pop off a spell before it has leapt upon us?
Absolutely. I'd let you do it right now.
I'm going to try to dissonant whispers it.
Okay.
So freakish whispering noises come out.
14. What's your DC?
God, come on. It's really bad.
You have inspiration.
Oh, you have inspiration.
Does that...
I don't know. What we could do is we'll have it roll again.
Yeah, like it rolls with disadvantage.
There it goes. Yes. So
Hey.
The only way my spells land.
it bounds away from rooftop to rooftop, headed across the city.
Yeah, so it takes some psychic damage and it gets out away from us.
Yeah.
It'll be back.
A freaky sphere of like gibbering noises was all I could and smelled like delicious.
Sorry. No. That's
Yeah.
the noise it made.
That's
All
basically my dissonant whisper. Yeah.
Yes, we should make haste.
Yes.
Yes.
Make haste to that port that'll get us to the watchtower.
All right, you reach the port. The stairs are dusty and made out of sandstone. There are no bodies or it doesn't look like anyone has traveled through these steps in a very long time.
Okay.
You come to the watchtower. You can see the ruined city. The simian creature seems to have lost track of you guys, and he's just kind of meandering about. He's trying to poke open doors and buildings, and he seems to just be scrounging around down low. And then, of course, there's the large pyramid in the center.
Okay. Well, if we can avoid the ape, I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we came here to get a box
It's
of metal, like that's
Strong
gonna
box.
happen. Yeah.
So there is a It's about 230 feet to the center of town. You are high up. You're about 3 stories up in this watchtower. There's a number of buildings. The dim sun is sitting high on the horizon, high in the air. What would you like to do?
For wherever we go, can we sort of use our vantage point to plan a route?
Yep.
And look at where the ape is and see where nooks and hiding spots are, and
Yeah, it's a good idea.
sort of talk that over amongst each other. Be like, if we go this way, we could sneak that way.
Yeah, is he traveling a kind of a general direction?
Yeah, he's actually moving back towards closer to the front gate, where you guys first fell upon the city.
Okay. Well, then maybe we can kind of take a circuitous route away from the direction he's going, but kind of meandering towards the pyramid just to give us as much space as possible.
All right. So let's make a... How would you like to move to the next location? Are you going to throw ropes? Are you going to shoot an arrow with a rope attached to it? Are you going to throw a hook? Are you going to climb down and try to run through the city? How are you guys going to try to move towards the center of town?
Annie will move down to the ground. If everybody else, I mean, if people want to travel through the route on the roofs, but like kind of go the same direction, but that way, if possible, like she maybe can be a distraction to kind of lure the thing away.
I'm not particularly good at moving around vertically, so ground travel's fine with me.
How far from the pyramid are we?
230 feet.
And how high up are we right now?
You are about 30 feet.
Yeah, we should just go. I have a grappling hook and a rope. We could do like a Spider-Man thing, but
you can.
But that's, I only have one,
Yeah,
one swing. It's only going to get us like 60 feet. So
yeah, you don't have omnidirectional gear.
Now it could get you to the next nearest building. In fact, if you make 3 successful dexterity checks above a 12, I can rule that you guys managed to hook and grapple across. But you've got to make 3 above a 12. If not, you're going to take 2d10 damage when you accidentally fall.
I have disadvantage because of my armor, so I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm just going to travel on the ground.
Yeah, let's go on the ground. We'll be like a freaking SWAT team. We're going to go door to door.
Checking corners.
Yeah.
Whoever has the highest stealth, make 2 stealth checks with me.
I got a plus 5.
Okay. Go ahead and make it. And one more. At 20.
Jesus.
One more from me? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
All right, so the gorilla, it's coming back, and you notice, as you can see it now in the bright light, since it's not backlit and you're not in this dark orb, it's covered in tough skin, no hair, and it has spines coming off its back and its head, and it has large spikes protruding from its knuckles, and it's clawing its way towards you fast, and it's bounding. Do you want to run directly for the pyramid, or are you going to start darting through various paths?
Fucking doomsday.
You're about and Superman dies this issue. So you're about 40 feet from the pyramid, and you're about 20 feet from a building you can run into. Which way would you like to go? The pyramid, it's steps you'd have to go.
We could maybe scrabble through windows and doorways. I've had to do my fair share of running away from people in cities. So
these are crumbly buildings, right? They're kind of ruined.
They're not in good shape.
Does anybody have something to like blow up a building so it collapses on the thing?
You mean to maybe shatter it?
Yeah.
Do that.
Is there a saving throw involved?
wait for it to get into a building and bring it down around it. We go through, it comes down.
So you're going to wait for it, and when it gets in the right position, you're going to attempt to blow something up on it. How are you doing?
Hopefully a multi-story building.
That's a lot of ifs.
A lot of ifs. I don't like it. I don't like this plan.
A lot of ifs coming off this plan.
I'm bolting for the the door for the pyramid. You said it's 40 feet away.
It's
from
only
the
40
entrance?
feet. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, yeah. I talk this over. I see him run, and I just follow him.
Yeah, and you're still talking while you're running, and you're like, and then we go.
No, we can go back and we can really try this out. If you want to take a shot.
You notice, you guys start going up the pyramid. It stops right in front of the pyramid, completely comes to a complete halt. Will not touch it.
Woo.
Loser.
Do you guys want to mess with it?
No, it starts backing away
Do you
slowly.
want to throw garbage at it or something?
All right, so as you
That doesn't bode well.
as you ascend to the steps, who's in front?
I'll be
Me
in
and
front.
me and May will be in front.
I have a high AC, so
You come
Well,
up.
Since the gorilla's not chasing us, do we want to move back to cautious speed and actually look for
Yeah.
traps and things?
Yeah. If it's not going to follow us up,
Haven't thrown a good trap at you this session. It's like,
Yeah.
all the stairs are made of lava. Sorry.
Forgot to assign his homework.
Okay, as you move up, there is at the top of the pyramid 6 creatures wearing black cloaks. And they appear to be goblinoid. They're taller than goblins, though. They're looking at you with stern faces, and they just seem kind of confused and disturbed by your arrival. They kind of placed hands on hilts of their swords. What do you do?
Annie will cheerily go, "Hi, how's it going?"
There you go. This is a private.
And she'll say it. She'll say it in goblinoid, since they do look
Okay.
goblin.
Yeah. They say, "What's a halfling like you doing in Orc Guard?"
Oh, just looking for a place to rest. Ease my troubles.
Well, you're free to.
I mean, look at me. She'll point to her undead
Yeah.
visage.
Oh,
I'm
but,
dead tired.
yeah. Let me see. Let's. They're not quite horrified by you, but they're like stepping back. You know, like fingers across. They're like, "Whoa, zombie halfling, get it. None of us have silver weapons. Do zombies? Are they affected by silver weapons? Now you can just hit them, and they die, and they seem to be picked. Then they see the rest of you. They're like, "What are you doing with a pet zombie?" Yeah, now they're completely like taken aback, and you do notice a strong box on an altar that these guys are at. What do you do?
I would like to make an enthralling performance for them. I'm gonna give them my A+ sales pitch, and sort of just totally draw the focus away from that and to me, work it into the whole. Well, she was just totally rotted away, and look how much better is she's doing now with my patented
I mean, I was dead
Goblin
before.
brand snake oil.
I was
All
dead
right.
before.
And this actually does something. Hang on. I can target 2 of them, and they have to do wisdom saves, which I'm sure they'll pass. But we'll
Why
see.
wouldn't they? Let's see.
If it fails, then I just have been talking to them, and that's it.
One got an out one, and one failed anyways. So
So that one, for an hour or until we mess with them, will speak only glowingly of me and hinder those who oppose me.
don't you know who this is? Bosch Quathbog. In fact, he fixed my rash a year ago. Yeah, he fixed my rash. Yeah, check it out. And his rash has gotten way worse. He opens his,
Looks good.
looks great. Can't you tell? It's awesome.
What brings you folks here? Quite
Having
the
a private meeting. Private meeting.
meeting. Love those.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about it too much to outsiders. Yeah, you're outsiders. We shouldn't talk about it to you.
Well, let's all go inside.
We can't let you inside. You're not members of the order.
Members only, huh?
Members only.
Are y'all accepting applications? What's the process?
I have a question for you. What are your feelings towards the Sand King of Tien City? And you can see on the horizon, there is, you can see the silhouette and outline of the cityscape in the background.
Do they have any insignias of the Sand King anywhere on their attire?
They do not have insignia of the Sand King. In fact, they all have small blue pyramids.
message whoever looks like they're gonna talk and be like, I don't know if they're friends with the Sand King.
My gut instinct is to say that they're not allied with the Sand King, and Shadow will approach a little bit and say, we are not allied with the Sand King, nor do we support his goals.
Nor do we, which is why we formed the Order of the Invisible Pyramid, the Black Cloak Society. And Tane, make a perception check.
I think you're muted.
Did you roll a nat 1 on your perception?
Well, twice, but yes.
Yes. Now, Praz,
Still be inspired.
make a perception check.
Okay.
All right, Praz, you notice the one doing the talking. The man next to him has the most beautiful and glamorous boots you have ever seen, and you want them for yourself. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
You save.
Now's not the time. I want them, but no.
Perhaps we can make a trade with them later.
A trade for what? He says.
For a wonderful night out together with you new friends of ours.
And what do we have to give you in exchange?
Perhaps we could, perhaps your members only club is seeking new members. We may share in interest in our disinterest for the Sand King.
Here's what we would need you to do to prove your worthiness. We have some propaganda. We'd like you to go to TN City, and we have 6 points of interest that we would like you to put the propaganda in. Let them know that the Sand King is up to no good. If you become our street team, go out and distribute these flyers in prominent positions, we might consider letting you in.
Are you going to spread fake news? Is that what he wants?
Do you have clipboards, or will we be
news.
providing?
No, we'll give you the propaganda. We have it prepared.
Very well. So I mean, I'm assuming that we know the Sand King by reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a long journey for us. We'd be happy to help you, but we just arrived in Orkgard, and it'd be a shame if we didn't at least accomplish some of our goal while we're here.
What's your goal?
We're here to scout out the city, determine its threats, and see if there is anything valuable.
Annie, you've noticed the fancy boots now. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Both you and May.
8.
May walked up, started sniffing the boots, and the guy's like, whoa, and you see it? You have to have these boots. In fact, even if you have to cut them off at the man's ankles, you have to take those boots. Jim, Shadow and Flame, while you're talking, he says, what are your goals here? And while you're doing that, Annie, go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage, because you're coming up short. They don't see you. You're just going to take them out at the knee.
Yeah, pull out my short sword.
These boots, they're like glowing. You must have them.
Oh, those boots. Oh, my God. The braiding, the stitching. That's a...
And you like hit him in the the back of the cab. He falls backwards, and people are like, "Whoa!" As they just start to see Annie come up and crack him. The leader looks down and he goes, "Every time with these gosh darn boots," and he's like, "More trouble than they're worth." And then he goes right back to you, Shadow and Flame. He goes, "What was your mission?"
We Shadow and Flame is we scout the city, determine any threats, and if there is anything valuable, return it to the individual that hired us.
Who hired you? He says, and he's trying to lean in and intimidate you a little.
We are representatives of the elders of Brahma.
Annie, you've been hit for 8 points of slashing damage. The guy reached up and defended himself. Now your dog gets to bite him too in retaliation. Meanwhile, these guys are just conversing. Is there anything anyone else wants to do?
I feel like they know this guy's boots are his own problem.
13 to hit.
Yeah, it's a hit, and that guy's not looking so good. Is like that dog's like pulling the boots off too and trying to give them to Annie, and he's like, "Not my boots, not my boots." And then
I'm gonna need a DC 11 strength save or be knocked prone.
He's already prone. You cut him off at the calves.
Oh, okay. Yes, these boots. Yes, they will complete me.
Two of the hobgoblins that are there with you start swinging. So one hits you for 8 points of damage, Annie. And you just see guys are drawing swords. And they're starting, a brouhaha is starting to come out. Meanwhile, the one's just talking with Shadow and Flame. He goes, so you were hired by the Elder of Brahma? Is that what you said?
Shadow and Flame's a little distracted by the fight. What's everybody else doing? Are we about to jump in?
Is the thing we're looking for, is that the thing on the top of the pyramid?
Yeah, the strong box is clearly
Clearly visible.
Well, how about one of us go, the rest of us will fight, and one can creep up and grab it, and we'll get the hell out of here.
All right.
You're going to try to steal it and run?
Well, it's pretty big, right?
My word.
All right, one of you make a sleight of hand, and one of you go ahead. Who's going to attack and who's going to grab?
I'll attack. I'm not a good grabber.
I'm
going to heal.
Praz going to grab?
I'm a fair grabber.
I'll sleight a hand. I mean, how big is this box?
It's pretty big, but I once saw a magician make a whole giant ice cube appear on a table, so I'm sure you're that good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good sleight of hand. They're pretty distracted right now by all the fighting going on. And then Sean, go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
Well, I'm going to actually I want to heal Annie.
And did I take 2 hits of 8 or 1?
2 hits of 8.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and you're another one swinging at you. There were 6 guys up there, so he doesn't hit you though.
Clangs off my shield.
Plus 2. Healed you for 5.
So a fight's breaking out.
Yeah. Well, fight's breaking out. And then we've got Annie's fighting. Bosch has stolen the strong box.
Or that was Praz.
Praz got it.
Praz
has a strong box.
Gotcha. And then
I'm just standing there. I'm like,
what about Shadow looks to Tane, and Shadow's almost like maybe about to start casting in support of Annie.
Annie, you've got the boots now. The boots are in your hands.
They are mine.
Yes, you've got the boots.
I will walk all of the wastelands with these.
And that's just what you'll do.
Are these hobgoblins our size? Well, I mean, they're medium.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
And they're all wearing robes, right?
They're all wearing black cloaks. It's hard to tell what's underneath.
I mean, if we killed them, we could maybe put on the robes, and well, that monkey thing's going to try to kill us no matter what, right?
Oh, he's down near the bottom of the pyramid.
I just had the darkest thought.
Throw him some food.
What?
Hey, we've got 6 food right here.
We have 6 rations of food for an ape.
So are we gonna?
Do you have any spices or anything?
Are we gonna finish him off, or should push him out there somehow?
Yeah, like all of the hobgoblins are now jumping on Annie and fighting them, or just like three of the 6?
3 of the 6. Then one's talking to you. The other 2, one, I've got to roll a wisdom saving throw for him because he's just seeing the boots now, and he might want to take them for himself. Yeah, these boots are bad news, guys.
They really are.
Oh no, yeah, and he totally sees, and he's going in after Annie now. So a 4 coming after Annie.
Okay.
How about this?
Net critical hit, 16 points of damage.
God.
16?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you up or down?
I'm
Okay.
at 1.
What about
Gotcha.
what about this?
Oh, you're hit again. 8 more points. 'Cause-
we entice the monkey with the boots, right?
and that one took the boots, but the one that's been real quick though. But the one that took the boots, one of his buddies is coming after him for the boots. So.
Okay. So if we
They
can
can
get the
fight each
boots
other all day long.
and we can get the monkey interested in the boots, and we can just chuck the boots far away and make a run for it. Maybe.
We chuck the boots at the monkey, all tackle each other so we don't go after them. Then they'll
Ooh, I love that idea. So who's going to execute this? Meanwhile, Praz, that monkey's kind of he seems confused what to do because you've got the strong box. You're clear to go down.
Grant, I have a physics question.
I don't have an answer for that. Ask Brian in the chat. He's got a degree in physics. What would you like to do?
I guess what I mean is,
Can you ride the strong box like a surfboard? Yes.
that
Legolas
was my
did
question,
it.
yes.
You can do that.
Yeah.
I will.
It's easier to straddle it, kind of like an ice block, and just woo down the steps. Make an acrobatics roll, though.
Oh, I can't have athletics to hold on?
Well, you'll hold on, no problem. It's just you've got to kind of make minor adjustments as you go down.
I got a 12.
You're doing it.
All right.
You've mastered it. And you're going right towards the gorilla or the other side?
I'm kind of convinced that the gorilla's afraid of the box, not the pyramid. So let's go with the gorilla.
All right. So you're coming down towards the gorilla, and he steps right up onto the pyramid and takes a swat at you. He rolled a nat 1 with his +9 attack and gets a 10. He misses you. And as he comes up onto the pyramid, you notice a black triangle appear in the sky. And as you look at it, even though it looks flat, it's clearly 3-dimensional. And as it appears in the side, a red beam comes out of it and shoots the ape, disintegrating him completely.
All right.
Yeah, and you just
My favorite Peter
right
Gabriel
through the
song.
gorilla, Ash.
We're on the dark side of the moon, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'd like to follow Paz down. Like he's got the box. We've got to protect him.
Does Annie still have the boots? You're just holding them, or do you throw them already?
No, Annie's on the ground out.
Oh, jeez.
And
Oh,
Hobgoblin,
you're
I believe, took the boots away from her.
I will heal Annie when I can.
All right, go ahead and roll to heal here.
All right, D8 + 2. This will probably take me forever.
This team is a mess.
7 points. He's back up. You notice in the distance there, Shadow and Flame, you can see on the horizon 3 other gorillas, 2 of them much larger than the previous one, coming into the city.
Gotta move.
But
I'm gonna go with-
you also notice the black pyramid float over by them, and it shoots all 3 of them, disintegrating them.
I'm not gonna complain.
Bosch, make a perception check for me.
I'm gonna sneak a peek. Hey,
Hey.
nat 20.
Although they're trying to remain unnoticed, 5 gold-skinned orcs riding on axe beaks come through the far east gate of the city. So on the far side, there were the front gates. Essentially, they are coming in on the thoroughfare, and they are wearing blue spiked helms. They have gold skin, and they carry spears, and they're riding on axe beaks.
They look official.
They are very official.
They're legit.
Maybe we should pack up this box and hightail it
Mm-hmm.
immediately.
Yeah.
The hobgoblins are like, you cannot take our box. You must trade for it. Our box. Where did our box go? And they seem panicked. They're like, it was just here. And they just go, maybe it's inside. We must go get the box. And so the hobgoblins seem distracted as they're fighting amongst themselves.
That's great. I was going to tell them to look at the shoes and say that's where it was, but if they left already, that works too.
Yeah, well, about half of them have gone in. So what would the party like to do? Follow Praz down?
Yeah, you guys want to run?
Yeah, I'm all for running.
If
Yes,
possible,
everywhere.
yes.
Everywhere the pyramid goes, it seems to leave a frost in the air. Even though it's hot desert and darkened sun, it's almost as if it's covering the city in a light frost that sticks and does not evaporate.
I will continue to follow Praz and Shadow in the Flame as fast as possible.
All right. And I assume you're headed west back towards the direction of the village of Brahma?
Yes.
And with that, we will end the adventure. Inside the strong box, there was 50 gold coins, a brown cloak, and a map drawn on stone tablets. If you looked inside, the box itself was made of metal.
Neat.
So, did you guys enjoy yourself today? How are we doing, guys?
Oh my, yes.
Can I cast Identify on the cloak?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a cloak of the sands. And as you are traveling in the sands, while wearing it, you have the same effect as an invisibility spell.
Sweet.
Damn.
We should give that to a rogue type.
Yeah. So we make it out of the city. I love the setting. Like, this is I love Dying Earth, and I've run a campaign of Midnight back in the 3rd edition days. So like, this is like right up my alley.
Yeah, you can really thank Askren and you yourself too, because as soon as really appreciate all those support we've received for these charity streams, because I kind of pitched Askren with an idea and he was like, how about I propose an alternative, and he just sends me the Dark Sun logo, and I'm like, man, because that just brings me back to being like 13 and seeing advertisements for D&D and just the whole the Brahm art and the post-apocalypse setting, and I'm just like, man, nothing like a setting where you have to make 4 characters and they're all gonna die, and there's cannibal halflings, and I've still playtesting this, and just the whole idea for Black Sands came out of just a quick conversation. I was like, how can I integrate it into... I was also trying to find a reason why orcs and hobgoblins might be considered monstrous races. And it's because this is the land where they lost the war, basically, where the beings from extraplanar beings came. In the north, where I run my other campaigns, the humans and the dwarves won, and then in other campaigns, the elves kind of had a neutral victory. But in this one, it's like, well, the orcs and the hobgoblins lost the war. So why don't we go around and let everyone know where we can find each other online. Let us know how you what you thought about the session. Let's start with you, Pruitt.
Oh man, I absolutely love the session. It's a lot of fun playing with you guys. Thanks for allowing us to be on here and help out, raise some money for a good cause. You can find me on Twitter at JPru Inc. Also at WebDM Show is our Twitter handle there. We're also, our main thrust is on YouTube. Our videos over there. You can follow us and support us on Patreon. Like I said, I play on Wednesdays with Encounter Roleplay at noon, and then at 8 o'clock at night on Saber Dice. So yeah, once again, thanks.
And Mr. Eric V.
I just have a Twitter at Fart Powder that I just tell dumb jokes on and don't do anything with it. But I want to thank you so much for letting me play in this. I just saw I was on Twitter. I just saw it was like, hey, we need some players. I was like, I follow WebDM stuff. They've got an amazing Patreon. It's really, they're always putting out fun stuff. And I was like, I'd love to play with them. I saw that they're playing.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I like about running these community games as well. I mean, you get to play with guys you don't normally get to play with necessarily, be it the crew from WebDM or PowerScore RPG or just friends on Twitter and things like that. And it's all for a good cause and rolling dice, having fun for the kids.
Getting the opportunity to play D&D for charity, and I've never even used any of the systems that we like, the video and the Roll20, and it was really easy. And
you look and sound fine, and there's not much to this playing RPGs online with a global audience.
To it.
Nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah, I hope I have another opportunity.
Would love to play with you again. You're a great role player, and definitely as you have time, I recommend that you put in to play on a casted online show if you want to be involved in the streaming community. I mean, I never really streamed D&D before until Encounter Roleplay reached out to me and said, hey, we got to play sometime. So, and they had just met me in person at a convention. So I just run games at conventions. Mr. Eric Jensen, Daydream Tiger 1, how did you enjoy the session?
I had a great time, Grant. Thank you. And thanks, guys, for coming out for the cause and just playing in the middle of the day, which is great for those of us that, get up early and go to bed early because we're old. Folks want to reach out to me, you can find me at Daydream Tiger 1 on Twitter. My stuff's been dormant for a while, but we've got some projects coming in 2018, so now's the time to hook into that if you want to see what's going on in the out months. So thanks again.
All right. And Sean, Power Score RPG.
Yeah, it was really good. I really like the leper goblins. And
how did you like that skirmish variant for combat?
I think it's a pretty cool idea, actually. Yeah. It's a little tricky. Like, I love minions, so anything with minions really is good to me.
Yeah, it's a little hard, and a lot of it depends. It's something I'm still play testing, but I devise it specifically for streamed games where we have a 3-hour time block, and combat, whether it's an easy combat or a deadly combat, almost always takes up an hour of the time, 45 minutes to 70 minutes, and that's a large chunk of a session. So this also allowed us to tack some resources, take some HP, but in 2 rounds you defeated 30 goblins. And we used a Sean Merwin, who's a game designer strategy when he runs 1-hour sessions. Skip to the end. He's like, look, rather than have combat go forever, if the players are overwhelming dominant, give them a choice. Okay, 1 goblin remains. You capture him or kill him. This place we had three options. It's always fun when the leper goblins come back at the end and they're discouraged. They've been taken advantage of. They've been up all night rolling through an arcane storm, so they're just feisty.
They got it so hard.
I thought we were all. I like everybody. Everybody was awesome, actually. I love playing with the WebDM guys, and both Erics are really awesome. Both of you guys should do more of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the one, Eric, I can't stop looking at the stuff behind you.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Are those Al-Qadim boxes behind you?
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Man, not one of us ran into a genie today. That's the last time I play tested the setting. Both players were warlocks, and they both had genie patrons, and we were just homebrewing it because nothing had come out for it yet. And one had a genie of shadow, and the other had a genie of glass, going with kind of the Black Sands theme. But yeah, really enjoyed playing with all of you guys. Jim, do you have anything else to plug or let us know before we go?
Pruitt kind of covered all the bases. We're on the YouTube and Patreon, and sometimes we're on Twitch with Saber Dice and all over the place. Had a great time. You ever need a player for Black Sands, hit me up. And I just appreciate the opportunity to play with everybody, raise some money for St. Jude's, and that's kind of it.
All right, with that, we'll turn the time back over to Mr. Askren.
Well, thank you, Grant. Thank you guys for playing. You guys were a ton of fun. I was kind of doing some stuff in the background, but I was listening and doing the DJ thing as always. Some great role playing and some fantastic characters today. And you guys know I have a soft spot for Dark Sun. It's been sort of rattling around my head, and I've been doing artwork for it and things, just trying to get that bug, swatted, but it just keeps coming back. So I love everything that has to do with these kind of desert ruin settings.
Yeah, you infected like 5 of us with that bug, by the way. You're like, I'm trying to get rid of the Dark Sun bug, and now we're all like, Dark Sun.
No, I need everyone to think about it. Wizards has been asking what they should publish next, and I'm like, if you don't do Dark Sun, I'm gonna smack someone at Wizards. It's gonna happen. Guys, thank you for coming out. Everyone in chat, thank you so much for watching. I want to give a shout out to where was it? Earthen Lady for the subscription. Thank you. Welcome to Dice Lulu's Minions. You have chosen to support the channel, and we thank you so much for it. Thank you to Shem, Basil Games, and In Wills for the raids during the shows, as well as everyone who donated Guys, you have been fantastic. We are wrapping up with a total of $3,576 raised for St. Jude's. Getting up there, we're fast approaching. We started with a goal of $2,000 for the month. We crushed that in the first game. We set a new goal of $3,000. We crushed that before the week even happened, and now we are setting our goal of $4,000. So we're gonna see if we can do what we can do. We've doubled our monthly goal already, and it's beyond fantastic. Huge shout out to all of my players here. You guys are great. Just to give you, if you guys are hanging out, a little bit of information before about what's going on. So if you're looking for more charity, more D&D stuff, let me tell you what's up here. First of all, welcome. If this is your first time, welcome to Exploding Dice. My name is Avskrin. I'm the host and dungeon master here. Usually, if you want more role-playing game actions, you could come back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, where I am dungeon mastering Writhing Moon, our open legend horror campaign with a fantastic cast. It's dramatic, it's gory, it's mind-bending, and it's everything you want in a horror game. And it's a ton of fun. Of course, you can come tomorrow for, let's see, tomorrow is Sunday, right? I don't think we have anything scheduled. The next charity game is going to be on Tuesday the 19th. In the morning, Grant is running another community game, and then you guys should definitely come back. Normally we do DM prep on Tuesdays as the talk show's kind of on hiatus, but I have been working with our partners for this event, Monty Cook Games, and so they are coming by Tuesday the 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Sean K. Reynolds is going to be running a Numenera one-shot for charity here with Monty Cook, Shauna Germain, Darcy Ross, and Bear Whiter in the players' seats. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Everyone over there is a great friend, and I love them so much. And then, of course, you can come back... what is that? That was Tuesday, so Wednesday is the Daubers, our whimsical, family-friendly D&D adventure, and then Thursday you should come back for Razor Coast, our all-female pirate campaign. Ton of fun. We got charity games weaving in and out of there, thanks to Grant helping us out with that. Guys, if you haven't already followed Grant, show him some love. He's running so much D&D this month, it's kind of ridiculous. And he's donated so much time to this event, and I don't know if we'd be where we are without him. So huge thanks to him, and thank you to all of you guys. Thank you to everyone who donated, all the followers. I think we're probably going to get it out of here. I don't think we have any other major shout-outs other than thank you guys for the subscriptions and all that good stuff. Let's do what we usually do, which is we're going to pass the love on to someone else who's streaming, and I don't think there's a better option than my friends over at Unmade Gaming. They're doing a 12-hour Extra Life charity today, so more charity. Why not? What's better than charity D&D? You got my friends Montrevant, and on the forefront, he's our Mouse Guard DM, and some other cool people playing right now. So we're going to go drop the love on them. Let me just drop the commands in chat. ! Raid Unmade Gaming. There we go. So all you guys got to do is copy that raid command in, and once we do the thing, it's going to automatically take you there. Unmade Gaming. There we go. Let me just see what this countdown's doing. All right, guys, it's we're just waiting for that to count down. But thank you so much, everyone. Hope to see you tonight. Hope to see you for the rest of the month. We've got a ton of charity stuff coming on. Our major games on Fridays this week this coming Friday, we've got my friend Jen Kretschmer, who is bringing a bunch of her Hollywood friends, some writers, some actors, some really, really crazy people coming to play. And then at the end of the month, wrapping everything up, we have my friend Lauren, aka Obo Crazy, is just doing a huge game with a ton of people, a ton of friends, streamers, and content creators, and all kinds of stuff to wrap the month up. And then we're gonna do our prize raffle stream. It's gonna be such a crazy month of charity and all that. I hope you see you guys there for it. That's it for us. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next time. Take care, guys. But as always, don't let Dice Thulu get his tentacles on you, because he might send you into the desert. Bye, guys.